Hello, friends. Welcome to SLC. Hopefully all the volume is working. I have no idea. The computer's all the way over there.
Testing.
And it seems like Justin says, yes, it's working.
Okay, good.
Well, I should have started out with my sleeves on.
Oh, so you can be a Shogun again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
New style.
We got two parts that can be wearable of a jacket. And we're going to finish up another part that can be a vest, worn
That's
as a
right.
vest.
That's our goal for today is
To make a vest?
Make a vest, yeah. We'll see how that goes.
And then we'll see if we attach sleeves to it or we won't make it that far.
We'll see. See how much I struggle.
Well, yesterday we made sleeves,
Yeah.
but we also did a couple other things on this jacket build. Pre-curved on the sleeves there for you. We got this part done. We made us. It's hard to like put your hand in a pocket when it's not attached to you.
When it's not on your body, yes, it
Yeah.
is a little weird.
So we got that done with a ball and chain zipper attachment right there. With what do we? Why can't I think of the names? What's our
Welts.
welts? Gosh.
It's okay.
Welt parts on both sides of it, and sleeves. There we go. That's what it's going to look like. Doesn't it look cool? I think so.
I think it's going to look cool. Or we could just keep your sleeves like you were wearing them and just put a strap across the back and just...
So my umpire jacket
Just
that
do
I
this.
have has a short sleeve attached to it,
Yeah.
and there's a zipper around there so I can take off the bottom sleeve so it's a long or a short sleeve.
Okay.
So what if we put a zipper around here so I could just slip off the whole sleeve and then I could just have a vest?
That might be tricky, but I think just the sleeves would be awesome. Like what you were doing last night and what you were doing just now. I think
If we did Velcro, it would work just the same.
that's a look. And we made these too. Made our little side adjusters.
Meyer said his sleeves are ready, but he didn't put the zippers on it.
Okay.
Oh, and we did make our little buckle adjustments for the backside.
We did
Maybe
that.
that's a thought for a thing to have like a zipper up there
Yeah.
with a cover that comes over.
I've seen textile jackets that way.
Yeah, a cover that comes over so it zips on, and then you have a piece that's just there.
Yeah.
It covers up that other zipper.
That is beyond my current skill set. I'm sure I could figure it out if you give
We
me a
can
week.
add it to your skill set.
Maybe. Give me
It'll
a
be
week to figure
finished
that one out.
carpentry on the jacket.
Yeah.
All right, so enough yoking around.
We did that
But we
too.
did a yoke up top here. Oh, Slickbald is here. I just saw him cruising by.
Nice.
Chris Andre is in the house today. So we got our back piece. I would like to call this piece down here a skirt.
You're welcome to.
Does it have a name?
I don't know.
It has its name now. It's a skirt.
It's a skirt.
It's a back skirt.
Because you need
And
skirt.
a back yoke.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I need is a skirt.
Yep. One of my other patterns has, we'll call them skirts along here that all kind of make a faux belt around the bottom.
Did you call it a skirt?
No, but I will now.
You will now. Jacket, skirts,
Yep.
sleeve zippers, and a back yoke.
Yep.
We got Meyer watching here. We got G. Olson showing up early. How do I check live shopping order status with the new website? Let me just answer this question here for those that do live shop. Sorry that if you don't live shop, you should. You're missing out. Since we put the orders in on the old website and then switched in the middle of this order process, you'll have no way to check it other than emailing or calling into the store. There was a few hiccups that happened with the new website. Not really anything you guys can all still place orders. I fixed a thing where you couldn't put more than a 50 quantity, so people were trying to buy hides, and so they couldn't put over a 50 quantity. When new websites start e-commerce, they want your quantity to be less than 50 or 50 or under, so that you're not getting spam orders or
Gotcha.
fake type of orders.
Yeah.
But we accounted for that on the front end, so I was able to do that. Now, to the real part. Are we starting with our pieces that we got here? Or are we doing something else? Are we making a collar first?
We're going to put all this stuff together. And
Okay.
all we have left that's not assembled is the collar,
Okay.
which we'll put together. It's interesting.
So let me get our sleeves
We
moved
have
out
our
of the way.
side panels, and we have our facing.
Okay.
That's it. That's
So
all
I got our
that's left.
sleeves out of the way. Do we need our back yoke and skirt out of the way?
No, we're going to start with that.
Okay, I'm going to start with that. So we're going to move our double welted front pieces out of the way.
Yeah,
Put it over with the sleeves.
Yeah, we'll need those at some point.
Right.
And we won't need this for a little while either.
Move
until
our-
after there's a collar.
Okay,
Then we'll throw this too. There we
nice. All right, so let's not get anything on
No,
the-
and I can move that.
Let's not get anything on that jacket. In case we got to review. Oh, let me see that real quick. So this is what we're moving on to this piece right here.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, gotcha. Brighten it up a little bit. So we're moving on to this piece.
Yes.
We've made those. Gonna attach these
Yep.
on both sides.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna attach them to the back first
Attach them to the back first.
with the buckles.
All right. Oh, that's
then-
not gonna hang there.
I can just throw it in.
Well, we may reference it a little
Okay,
bit more.
that's fine.
We should, since we're starting to construct a little bit more, we can show where the pieces are going on it. So there's what we
So
got.
it's gonna be something like that. And I guess we can start with this side. So we'll move this. We will get our proper buckle. This just takes a little bit of thinking ahead of time,
Okay.
because ultimately you want your rough edge facing down, and you want the buckle facing forward. So,
But
since we're
something you could do as a thought, if we just, when you cut that and made it a little bit longer, and then you just roll those back on it, then you would still have a finished part, but you would still have your seam that's there.
yeah,
Unless you folded this one all over, and then it was on the back side there.
I've kind of played with that, and like I
Belt
was
knife
talking about
skyver.
earlier. I didn't have the skyver, and I use thicker leather usually, and it
Yeah.
just makes it really bulky and hard to pull through.
Yeah,
when
so-
I was doing that, but yeah, and a lot of other times, if it's a more firm leather, I'll tokenol this. I'll sand it and tokenol it in it.
Well, if you do
slick it
your
up.
pieces on the next jacket, on jacket number 18, and
Okay.
you get to that point and you need a belt knife skyver,
Just
I'll let you come in here and zip them.
you won't just let me take it home.
Uh,
I'm just
hey,
kidding, I'm just
Rusty.
kidding.
Hey, Rusty, if you would come in and let Mark know whether he can just take it home,
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
just assume it's a yes,
just
unless you
teasing.
show up within an hour. If you don't show up within an hour, Mark's just going to take it home.
Okay, that's cool with me.
It's up to Rusty now. Ball's in his court.
Balls in his court.
Isn't that like social media posts that they do? That where they say like stuff like that happen? If you don't comment, my husband doesn't comment, and within an hour, then I get a tattoo. That's the one I get.
Okay. I'm not familiar with it, but I'm sure it's out there.
Yeah, you don't social media.
Not very often.
All right, continue on.
Okay.
Sorry.
I need a tool out of my little fancy.
So let me get out of the
Okay,
way.
you can switch me if you want.
Okay, and I can be over here on this. How is your next knife sheath going?
Talking to Chevy guy.
Oh, Chevy guy. Meyer says his sleeves aren't looking good, but as long as I get them all together, I'm calling it a win.
That's all it is.
Your first sleeves were probably not real special, were they? Or
You
were they
assume
real?
too much. No, my first canvas sleeves were not the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take this guy. If you'd be kind enough to hand me the rest of those little buckles.
Okay, here you go. I'll let you. You can come over right here, right in the middle.
Is that where you want me?
Well, then Justin.
I noticed yesterday I kept drifting that way.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. I don't have an X on the table right here where you need to work,
And that's...
but it's right here on this seam.
Okay. Gotcha. Well,
We'll
I'll
just
stay
keep it-
somewhere within the seam.
Keep it below this seam and close to that seam.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
The irony of a man who has a strict no breakfast policy wearing a Breakfast Club shirt.
Beautiful. I love the...
Was that your
the
plan?
perception. No, but I like it. And I do have a strict no breakfast policy.
Yeah,
It
and
just-
then wearing a Breakfast Club
Yeah.
shirt.
Morning meals, they weigh me down.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What's next?
Glue. Do we have some of that? Can you accommodate the glue needs?
I got
when
that glue
Get back
need.
into this
I got-
horror show.
Did you practice on your gluing last night?
No.
Did you go home and work on that?
Yeah.
A plate.
Yeah, there should be some on Jared's table, right to the left, next to the restroom. Because that's where you keep plates. Is
But I did bring a couple horsehair brushes for one step that I might need something really long to get into a place. I'm gonna be careful what I say, so
Are
you don't
careful
steer
with
us
your
in a-
works? You're not gonna whip anything out
Nope, I
on
don't.
us?
I don't want to be steered in the wrong direction again. Led astray.
Yeah, Liz was here this morning, so she filled you in. You got to be careful with your words, and she
Yeah.
is not ever. Good.
She's not ever careful?
No.
Okay, so let's...
Am I gluing this right here?
We might be jumping the gun.
Okay.
How about I let you glue this side?
Just from that?
Yeah, you can get up in here if you want to, but yeah, just this one side.
All right.
And then I'll glue this side.
Oh, okay.
If you want. So let's switch.
Okay.
Just get that outer edge. Yeah. You want glue, don't you?
Well, I mean, I'd appreciate it if you didn't drip it all over my jacket.
Yeah, it'll wipe off. That's the magic of the Aqualim. It's very
That's true.
forgiving, especially on the waxy finish jackets. It just rubs right off when it's dry. Some of the more naked ones, they don't. Like, it doesn't do that.
The naked finishes that don't rub off very well. I've never had that problem.
No. Right out of the gate.
You tried really hard to not fall into the trap, but
yes.
I sought otherwise.
Oh, I wanted to touch base on how we ended yesterday. I think it was some classic misunderstanding. I'm talking about patterns.
Yeah.
Whether I was going to sell patterns or sell jackets. Yeah. And I was very defensive. No, I'm not going to sell my patterns.
Oh, you weren't you should be defensive about your patterns.
So I thought about it.
Okay.
And then if I decide not to pursue making jackets, if for whatever reason I get bored of it or financially it doesn't make sense or whatever, I will probably look at just offering my patterns for sale once they're all graded and all that stuff.
I think that's fair.
But that's only if I'm not going to pursue making jackets.
So do you know how strict Louis Vuitton is?
Oh,
if people take their stuff and even disassemble it?
You get a cease and desist.
Yeah.
You get a letter in the mail.
Yeah.
So they're very... Oh, shoot, we can't be doing this and we're not being on air. How are people hearing us right now? Okay.
That hat is so cool.
Yeah, and I didn't plug this light in. We weren't lit.
Now we're lit?
We're lit.
We're okay.
Your gluing got much better. I mean, mine's still superior, but...
It is, but I just had to sleep on it.
I humbly say.
Yeah, you're extraordinarily humble. We covered that yesterday too. Yeah. How many awards do you have for your humility?
5 times in a row. Five-time world champion.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I display them at home. I actually have a camera on a stream. Well, my stream on Twitch is Nacho_leather. Nacho Leather.
Nacho Leather.
And all I do is just stream a video of my awards, so people can see who the winner is.
Humility.
Yeah.
At work.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not true at all.
So on these little guys, you'll notice, I don't know what we're looking at here.
You're good.
I relieve just a little bit, not quite a ½ inch on each edge, just so that when you fold it, it takes away some of the bulk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I'm going to put a little dab of glue there. And keep that squeezed together.
Oh, look at that.
Because all this does add to bulk. I know.
You
humbly stole my glue.
I know.
Okay, so this will be...
So Meyer, even when I put my sleeves on, when I just had the sleeves on, I did feel like the Tin Man. In fact, I walked around with just straight arms, like the Tin Man.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling just having the sleeves, I think.
When I think you talked about it when you wear it, like that first few hours, you talk in a different term of, like this jacket only has 7 hours on it. I've only worn, so it's only been broke in. It's got a break-in period, much like a new motorcycle would have a break-in period.
That's
or
right.
a new car.
Yeah. And there's a saying, I don't know who came up with it, but it kind of holds true, that the first time you put a new jacket on, it's the worst it will ever look on you.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't look great when it's brand new. So here, I'm going to go with about 1 inch from the bottom of the
I got you.
seam
Just
here.
from the bottom of your skirt.
From the bottom of the stitch of the skirt will go about 1 inch. It doesn't have to be.
Go up just a little.
Oh, sorry. I zoomed the camera in.
So we'll do that. So it's backwards because when we put this panel on, right side to right side, we're going to end up top stitching it like this. So now it'll be facing the right way. So that's something you have to kind of think about ahead of time.
Because this piece is also, when it goes on, is going to go on like this.
Yes. It's actually going to go on like this.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just backwards.
I just hadn't held it over there. We were both on the same page.
We were. For once.
Yeah. I feel like we were on the same page most of the day yesterday.
Until we got to the very end and I was confused about me selling my patterns.
You weren't confused. You were
I was
you were
mistaken
very
on what
straight.
you were talking about.
No, you were very straightforward. If you're making your jackets while you're constructing your jackets and selling the jackets, you're not selling your patterns.
Correct.
But if you decide that you're not going to sell jackets anymore, then you would consider selling your patterns. Because you might as well make some money off of your adventure that you took into.
Yeah.
So there's a guy, Prince Armory. Have you ever seen any of his stuff?
No.
He just makes armor. He sells his patterns, but he didn't at first. It was whenever he stopped making as much. Like, I think he has a year waiting time for people to make armor. He still makes armor, but I think most of the stuff
What kind of armor? Like medieval armor?
Yep,
Like or like Japanese type old samurai
It's a
armor?
little bit of both,
all of it?
but it's very design heavy.
I'm very interested in trying to make samurai armors.
So he has patterns that you can get,
That's cool.
and yeah, it's just one of those things where G was saying he sells his basic patterns, but then when you get to some of the crazy stuff that he makes for custom stuff for people, he's not selling that.
Gotcha.
So like if you did this and you had a crazier jacket, then maybe this is your basic one, and you're like, okay, I'm not making this one really anymore, so I could sell that.
Yeah, I get that concept. Okay, now I'll stick
I'm not
some
trying to talk
shorts.
you into selling your stuff.
No, it's okay. But
I'm also.
you're making
it's
good
very.
points.
It's very. I think it's quite all right for you to say I'm not ready to sell my patterns yet.
Yeah, I'm not yet. But like you were saying, if there's one that I think is really special and difficult to nail, then maybe I'll just protect that one.
Yeah, and you're like, this is still a great pattern. I've expounded upon it. You know, these are the first ones that I graded, but I've expounded upon it, and now I have something a little bit different. I changed this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, this is
Yeah.
Cherubim's basic leather jacket.
So what's funny is this is the most basic and simple pattern that I have, the Cafe Racer, but it's been my problem child from day one. Just trying to dial it in. It's been the hardest one for me to wrestle and
I feel like
make
it's
and remake and try to get it right.
Whenever, like, I'm very particular about my lineup card, and I haven't really changed it. I changed some stuff when I was making it at the beginning, but nobody else cares to make it, really, because nobody else really umpires and does leather work.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah, you're kind of in your own field there.
I wouldn't, enigma. There's one other guy that does it, but he has them produced for him.
Yeah.
And he uses cardboard inside of it, and I use Kydex inside, so if the leather gets wet on the cardboard, it gets all the way through to the cardboard, and it kind of ruins and gets really super floppy after that.
Okay.
The thing with Kydex is it's plastic. Plastic doesn't absorb water.
It sure doesn't.
So I've had my lineup card holder since 2018, and it doesn't look like it's hardly been used at all. People are like, "Wait, you've had that for how long?"
Nice.
Yeah. Am I gluing this side now?
If you want to glue the other long side of this.
Sorry, I forgot that I'm just doing gussets. I'm only...
Yeah. No, Kydex is cool. I've never worked with it, but I've watched a couple videos, and you have to have pretty specialized equipment to do that? No? Okay.
Nope, so I have a piece, a leather dye. Well, I told them that it was Texas leather dye that made it for me. And I told them that I was going to click out Kydex, so they made it a little bit thicker. So I clicked that piece out, and then I click out a couple other pieces. But all I do is glue the leather to the Kydex. And this Renia works just fine to connect that. And then I sew outside around the perimeter.
So you're not sewing the Kydex?
No, but a class 3 will sew it. It'll sew through Kydex. I've missed when I was first doing it. When I first started using the sewing machine, I did hit the Kydex, and it went through it like butter. It didn't care that I hit Kydex.
Okay. Yeah, those things look very stout. Those class 3 and 4s. So we'll put this guy back down here again, about an inch. We'll eyeball it.
But I think that's like for your Cafe Racer, it's your baby. You want it to be perfect.
I just
one that you spent the most time on.
I didn't choose to. It just worked out that way. It's been a pain in my butt, really.
Was this the first style jacket you made?
No.
No?
No, it was more of a 1950s kind of sport jacket. Was the first one with a collar and all that stuff. And then I did this one. And then I started working on the cross-zip motorcycle jacket.
That one's pretty slick, too.
Yeah, that one's my favorite, just because I like that.
Just kind of a update we had since yesterday. You and I kind of talked. You're like, hey, is it going to be a big deal if we don't go all the way through Friday? So I think we moved a little further along than maybe you even thought.
Maybe so.
Yesterday. So we may not make it all the way through Friday, and it may not be a whole week of jackets because...
But we may.
We may have a major malfunction.
No, not a malfunction, just slowness.
Oh.
Okay.
We got
this side's ready to go.
Tire knots off.
Yeah, I got lots of knot tying.
Lots of knot tying.
Yeah, I guess we might as well just glue these two up at the same time. It's not going to hurt anybody. And we're facing the right way. Always got to double check myself so I don't have a brain fart. This is not dry yet. Jumping the gun a little.
Did you need me to blow on it?
Yeah, do your thing.
Oh, so you went back and watched the video, and Latigo was talking about the sewing machine.
Yeah.
You said the microphone picked it up way different than it actually sounds.
Yeah, he said that it sounded terrible, and I'm like, I don't think it sounds too bad. It sounds a little noisier than mine, but on the video it was very buzzy and clacky and.
So it doesn't sound like in the room.
Yeah, in the room it sounds
Since
fine.
we have zero compression and zero noise reduction on camera or on our audio, it sounds weird.
Yes.
Don't worry, you're late, Michael. We got started without you. Are there pictures of these different jackets somewhere? Well, I put on this one here. Smells good.
That one does smell good.
Whenever I can smell leather, I get excited about it because I like working here so long. Like, oh my god, I'll get home or I'll go somewhere and they're like, you smell like leather, and I was like, no, I don't. But then like I pick my shirt up and I'll smell, like hold it all the way to my face, and I was like, oh, I do smell like leather.
Yeah. Kind of like a fry cook doesn't realize he smells like a supersized fry.
Oh no, when I worked at Applebee's when I was there, I smelled the food substantially.
Was it always that way, even after a long period of time?
Yeah, every time I would like get in my car and I'd go home and I was like, oh. So this is, I don't know, you may open up the brightness a little bit since I'm on a black wall. Maybe I can move over to the trading cards.
So someone asked if there was pictures of the other jacket. The only place that I've posted pictures of any of my stuff is on a forum called the Fedora Lounge.
The Fedora Lounge.
The Fedora Lounge, yeah. There's a.
Is it for making fedoras? Is it a lounge for fedoras?
No, it's a forum that covers so many topics, but one of them is leather jackets and outerwear in general. And the guys on there know so much about so many things when it comes to leather jackets. Make me feel like a dummy, but that's kind of where I hang out. And
yeah. Hey Chevy, will you be my wingman? No. You can be my wingman.
All right, this is...
Is it just Fedora Lounge? You just Google it and then you find the link for it?
Yeah.
FedoraLounge.com.
Yeah,
FedoraLounge.com.
And yeah, and if you're looking for me, I'm Air Guitar, spelled A-E-R, guitar.
A-E-R.
Yeah, like the old Greek spelling of air. Don't know why.
Are we sewing now?
We're sewing if you want to let me.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Okay. I put my foot on there, my upholstery foot. I was whining about all day yesterday. I put that on
We've
there.
gotten them in before, but it's not something that we stock.
Yeah,
We will special order if you need it.
Yeah, I checked before I ordered it to see if you
But you can look on Leather Machine's website, they have them listed on there.
And they're very proud of them.
Very proud of them.
Yeah, I think this was $50.
That's not terrible. You spend $2,000 on a machine, $50 is nothing.
It's true. Can you see the difference here?
I can see how you got your super wide foot.
And it just presses on a top stitch. On the seam where you top stitch, so much harder to keep everything laying flat. And
Well, I think with as much surface area that's also there, it leaves less of a track mark.
yes, that's true as well. I also jumped up to a size 20 needle.
Size 20 needle because we're going through a few more at the bottom.
Yeah, we're going to end up going through lots of layers here when we start putting everything together.
Myra, are you using a machine or are you using are you hand sewing yours?
Glasses. Glasses. I like it.
Chris wanted to come in here and talk about anything?
I have no idea.
I brought my belt that
Oh, did you?
that I made from his pattern. He can laugh at it, get a good chuckle, and feel real good about himself and his own skills. Found a fun spot. Here we go. Now we're getting ready to walk over the belt.
That's always a problem I have, like walking up on it in the machine and not wanting.
See, it didn't want to go, so I'm gonna move it manually. Make it do the thing.
That's okay. This is the hidden seam.
That's okay. I won't allow that on top stitch. So now, it does not ever want to walk off here, so I just pull my needle down, manually slide it to where I want the next stitch to end up. Because it will not walk off these humps.
They say they can't hear us.
No, I just realized.
Oh, geez, sorry about your line.
You know how picky I am about my
I
line.
know. Thomas Becca says, "Good morning from sunny Saskatoon."
Where's Saskatoon? Somewhere in Canada?
Saskatchewan.
Okay.
Chevy wanted to be Goose instead of Iceman.
Oh, Goose is awesome, but
He doesn't
it doesn't
die.
end well. Yeah,
Yeah, he does bump his head.
it does. Does bump his head. That's a nice way to put it.
Well, I mean, that's what happened. Just turns out that he bumped it a little harder than the body could handle.
That's right. Have you seen the? Do you watch Netflix?
I have watched it a time or two, yes.
Have you seen the new Thunderbirds documentary they have?
I saw it popped on there, but I have not watched it yet.
It's really cool. They talk about ejections. You know, like when you have to eject in an emergency.
Yeah.
How hard that is on the body. It's like 25 G's.
Oh, for that first explosion
it
out?
sends you out at about 25 G's and it compresses your spine permanently for the rest of your life. You'll be an inch shorter after one ejection.
Oh, wow.
That's insane.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, and they were saying if a pilot has to eject twice, it's almost always the end of their flying career.
Right? I would figure it'd be after once.
And I think that's the case sometimes. Okay, so now we'll go do the other side here. Since we're already set up.
When you run down that, I'm going to go find Chris.
Okay. You go find Chris.
Entertain the crowds.
Oh, I will. I've got knots to tie. Always entertaining.
brought another guest in.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Good.
Excellent.
You're Chris, I presume, right?
I am. Whether you like it or not.
But here's what we're working on.
Oh, man. That's a serious jacket. Very cool. Very cool.
So we're doing it in gray.
Secret jackets and pockets. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, that is a nice jacket.
What number was this one?
That's the most recent one. I think that's 16.
Yeah, 16. We're working on 17.
Dang nice.
You guys have a jacket category on the...
They do?
Do they? There you go, Mark.
What's that? I
Thanks
missed
for the
it.
Sheridan.
We absolutely should have to show up one of these.
Well, what
Breather holes in the armpits. Man, this is quality stuff.
That's a good jacket.
That is really nice.
He's got this cross zip one too. Maybe can you bring it up? Can you bring that one in tomorrow,
Yeah,
Mark?
yeah. I thought on the last day I would bring a few
more
in.
of them.
But I can
Justin has
fix
some
it.
pictures of it, but
Yeah. That is crazy nice.
started off coming in just because he needed some conditioner, and now we've ended up in a leather jacket world.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Made a belt, but I'll let him get his belt done after
Yeah.
we get back over here.
Yeah, and
Well,
I'll-
what brings you in? I know you're traveling through to Blade.
Heading to Blade. This is kind of on the way. It's always nice to stop and see my friends here and
Yeah.
do some stuff.
How was we did? What last Wednesday you guys talked about the leather debut?
We did.
How did it go from your end of things?
It was nice. We had 12 in the tool holster category.
Yeah.
And some really nice work. There's always some that make you scratch your head a little bit.
Yeah.
But are we on camera for real?
Yeah, you're up in the
Okay.
top corner.
If you're going to enter a holster into the World Leather Debut, please make sure it fits a gun, and I can tell a gun's been in it. If you just fold it over and stitch it, it's not a holster yet. You got to mold it to a gun.
So
It's
we
rules.
had a video with you, and we talked about that whole thing.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in maybe doing a holster, maybe you should go and watch that video
There
and
you
pick
go.
up some tips and tricks from that.
That's it.
Well, that was one thing. So one of our regular fellas that watches our show all the time, he's just like, do you think I need to mold it? And I was like, that was exactly what Chris told us last year. I was like, if you don't mold it, it's not
You
done.
got to mold it.
It's just folded leather.
Otherwise, it's a holster-shaped piece of art,
Yeah.
which is fine.
But
Well,
you
I've judged a
you
lot of
can't
wall
test
hangers. I've judged a
the-
lot of wall hangers.
Nice. You got to be able to test the retention and
All
the
that, the fit,
specifics.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there something on the sign-up thing? I didn't ask you this, Liz. On the sign-up thing where it says like this is your first time or your first time entering?
No,
No.
they give you no recommendations whatsoever. You enter, you enter.
I know that you enter, but that'd be cool. That'd be cool to like have this is your first entry, so you guys can,
Yeah.
so they can be like just kind of known.
It would be kind of cool if they had, and it's already, we already have too few holster judges as it is. It's
Yeah.
hard to get them to the show. But it'd be nice if there was like a beginners, kind
Yeah.
of a
Or just
category.
I'm just thinking like so you know how many more
Even if it-
people entered.
yeah.
Like how we can say like oh we talked about when we went on Springfield Leather's video we
Right,
talked about
right.
being in the leather debut because Denny entered what 3 things for the first time.
he did, yeah.
So the first time, so that was 3 new entries that,
Yeah.
that happened there from a first time maker. If Mark goes and does a jacket,
Yeah.
then he's a first time clothing.
That's it.
Liz, first time entering. Should we put how many
See,
did you put in?
And Nick, I mean, that was his first time entering, so
Yeah.
there's at least 3.
Nice.
So Denny had 3. Nick had 3,
I
and
had
you
2.
Right.
and you had 2. So we brought you 8 new entries.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's
good.
awesome.
We had a good turnout for
Do
the
you-
whole review.
I was gonna say, I don't remember if Cheryl said at the dinner how many entries or if there was a comparison of like years previous.
I don't recall if she said that or not.
Yeah, like total entries from the
We were
Yeah.
stuffed way back in the corner, so we weren't really paying attention.
yeah.
But
Let's
yay.
let's see what you
Okay.
let's see what you did on this first. We'll look
This
at
is
that.
going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, I think.
So we
That
got
is
our-
really nice.
Is that your glue tray?
Yeah, because it wasn't working squirting it out, so we made a
It
glue
wasn't working
tray.
for me.
Yeah. So that's what we got so far, and
Very
then
cool.
slide me some sleeves there.
Oh no.
So there's the sleeves part of it. Yeah. They're backwards, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
it's backward.
Just kidding.
It's okay.
Just kidding. There we go. There's no this way.
Bang.
There you go. There you go.
Man, that's the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Buckle tabs.
Yeah, the way we're going to top stitch this, we'll put our top stitch on the main panel, so all this will fold over
Right.
flat. And we'll have to beat that down. And get some
Gotta
glue
beat her
on it.
down.
Yeah, and then we'll put
Make-
a top stitch here.
There you go. Okay.
And that'll kind of make everything okay. And this is the easy part of the side panel. When you start attaching the front bodice pieces to it, you've got to be a little more careful through the machine. Everything wants to kind of wad up, and it's just a little trickier. It's not bad though.
Michael Seeger had a question. Do you have a category for one-handed crafters?
Apparently we do not. I don't
Yeah,
think
or
no.
foot crafters.
Nope.
Well,
Everybody-
what brings you besides coming in through Blade? Anything else you want to talk about special? What's
Well,
on
not
the-
a lot. I've come out with a new line of templates,
That's right.
acrylic templates for all my pattern packs.
Yeah.
And we're growing new pattern packs coming out this year.
So that's acrylic pieces then?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, we've got a new
Where can we find those?
slickbald.com. Take you right to Shopify.
There was Miss Slickbald was telling me about your new website.
Yeah, it's all her. I
Yeah.
make stuff. I don't compute.
I think we talked about the last time you were here.
Yeah.
She was just kind of playing it out, and we were both on the
Yeah.
Shopify. So now we're both on Shopify.
We're both on
There you
Shopify.
go.
We
Yeah.
just moved over. It was like Saturday
Really?
night at 10
Yeah.
p.m.
Oh my gosh.
From like
Oh my
10 to
gosh.
2 o'clock in the morning, I was up there moving all over the DNS records.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Does the new patterns, does it include for Desert Eagle?
I don't have a pattern for a Desert Eagle yet because nobody's ever asked me to make one.
Well, our one-armed stitcher.
Yeah.
Not only do we want to just have one arm and stitch with it, we want to shoot one of the biggest handguns that we can while we do that.
Right. No, I've never even seen. I'd have to get an airsoft or something to mold it to. They don't
Yeah.
even make molds for that.
Yeah,
Well,
but
he's just up in the Farmington, St. Louis area. So next time you're up at Herman Oak, you could go hang out with Michael.
Well, We'll be stopping at Herman Oak a week from today. No. Yes, a week from today.
Yeah.
We'll stop at Herman Oak
Next
for the
Tuesday.
Tuesday
Yep.
meeting.
you got a place
Nice.
to contact you on your website? Can Michael contact you on your website and talk at slickball.com?
It should be Slickbald at slickbald.com. That on the old website that was screwed up, so I'm not sure if that got fixed. But slickbaldcustoms at Gmail is generally how to get a hold of me.
Okay. Well, we'll look on.
sure.
Yeah, we'll look on the website and see if there's a contact on us on there.
Yeah,
If not,
the boss needs to answer that question.
yeah, we can get you in contact.
Right on.
If you want to have a nice chuckle, over in that big brown bag
Big brown
there,
bag.
there is a belt that I made from one of your
Oh, right on.
patterns, and this is the very first thing I ever did with
No
leather.
kidding.
And my hand stitching is horrendous. So you can get a nice laugh. And I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes everywhere on it, but that was the first thing I ever did.
Very cool.
I think your belt loops look really good.
That's
Yeah, I
They're
good.
They do.
pretty consistent.
The only challenge is
Is
it looks
that-
like that on the back.
Yep. That's
You
kind
know,
of
hand
the way-
stitching, I can appreciate the
Yeah.
taking the loop, pucker loop on that.
Yeah, I didn't want to stitch all those.
Yeah.
I was afraid. So I did it that way, but yeah,
Well,
that
that's
was the
cool.
first thing I ever did. I just came up here and I
Well,
got one of
dang.
your little patterns, and
Well, shoot, dude, for a
Tried
first
it.
try, this is brilliant. It's wonderful.
I mean, it's
It really
okay
is.
as
And
long as
again-
you don't look too close.
And I'm
Look
not
at that.
I'm
That's
not just trying to
awful.
make you feel good. I've judged worse things in the World Leather Debut.
Really? Oh,
It's,
okay.
So don't beat yourself up, man. Have the pride in the fact that you managed to accomplish something
Oh, I
that
was
isn't
proud
that
of it,
easy.
but with you standing there, he's gonna have a chuckle
hell.
about that later.
No, this is awesome.
It works.
This is awesome.
Do you use it?
Very cool.
I have. I bought a Colt Python. I think I made this January 2024. I got
Okay.
a Colt Python, and I didn't have any way to carry it, so
Okay.
I made a
Well,
holster
where's the
for
holster
it.
for it?
And I made this. Yeah, the holster. I got rid of the gun
Oh.
and the holster.
And the holster. All right. There you go.
So this
Very
was
cool.
January
24.
Last year.
24, and
Yeah.
now we're to leather jackets.
Yeah.
I just find
That's
that
pretty
I
amazing.
find that incredible. Just
That's
like
pretty amazing. And that's building a jacket like that is stupid hard to do. It's not an easy task.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's like playing chess with yourself, trying
Yeah.
to figure out what goes where and when it goes there, so you don't mess anything up. But after I did this, I did 2 motorcycle seat covers, and that's
Okay.
what led me to getting the machine and
All right.
trying to.
He really dove in real fast.
Okay, yeah.
He went. He was
You betcha.
like, that deep end down there looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And,
And
I'm
he
gonna
was
go
sitting there
swim
with
in
his
it.
fingers bleeding, doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I need a machine.
Oh yeah. I don't know how many hours that second motorcycle seat I did. At least 70 hours of just
Oh my
stitching.
god. Makes my fingers hurt.
Yeah.
I don't mind hand stitching it. When I make a miniature holster, I always hand stitch them because at 12 stitches per inch, it's pretty hard to deal with a machine.
Yeah.
But that's once in a while for fun.
Yeah.
Man.
That's not something I want to do every day. I certainly wouldn't want to do that. Hand
This is way
stitch.
too
Oh
much.
my god.
Did you use the bell knife yesterday? No.
Not on this. It's
We
only
thinned it
2.5
out.
It's already
ounces.
thin.
Yeah, I
Pretty
thinned it.
thin, yeah.
Thinned it a little bit thinner.
Yeah, I think the bell knife would be nice for anything over 3.5 ounce.
Yeah.
Well, I told Rusty it was about 9:20. I said, if you don't come in with an hour, Mark wants to take home the bell knife skyver, so the ball's in your court. If you don't come and say no, then the answer is yes. Yeah, it's like, isn't that what the social media posts are when people are like,
Yeah,
hey,
there
if
you
you
go.
don't comment within an hour, then I get a free tattoo.
That's
Then
right.
That's what
You
my
won't miss
wife always posts. So
You won't miss it.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
we'll just pull another one in there for
You're
them.
going
That was what I was walking
shotgun,
around.
Yeah.
I was walking around
They walk around
yesterday.
Yeah, like a little boy, he was doing that.
Let's see.
Yesterday.
Jen took
Okay,
a.
Tony and I are the same size, so
Yeah, you'll be
we
able to
can
wear.
share things.
There you go. That was me yesterday.
All right. The Terminator.
There you go, Justin.
Oh yeah.
We'll put you some
Pretty
platform
slick.
shoes on so you can like be 7 foot tall.
So we got the
very
acrylic
cool.
templates.
Yeah.
Is it? It's only on Slickbald now. Are we able to put in an order and start carrying them?
I've put it out there to the masses. I haven't had anyone pick them up yet, so you can be first.
Okay.
We haven't been making new items because website, and so that has been.
I've got a
just
cart
been a
of.
little backed up.
I've got a cart of like 30 new items out there.
Oh
to,
yeah.
so
to
once,
handle.
There you go. There
now
you go.
that this is kind of pushed, and then maybe in like the next 2 weeks, I feel like hopefully we'll find
Sure.
the kinks that will
Oh
need
yeah.
to be found,
Inevitable.
and then we can start
There
doing
you go.
regular work again.
There you
We
go.
probably have a couple more items on our website than
Okay.
you put into your Shopify one. I think we have 6,500.
Right. I've got
But it-
35 SKUs. You know.
Yeah,
That's it.
well, yeah, that's not even our SKU. Yeah, 65 items, but the
Right.
SKU load's probably like 12.
Oh, geez, yeah.
And then, so, it may be even more than that. So then we have our ERP system has to connect to Shopify, so we
Right.
don't hold, none of the truth is on Shopify, we pass the truth to it. So that
Gotcha.
connection, making sure it goes back and forth and it talks to
Wow.
each other, it's cool.
No thanks. I'll stick with knives and sharp things.
Under what
Much easier
tab
for me.
are the templates? Can they find them on the Slickbald one?
That's pretty much all that's on that website is
Okay.
templates and
Probably
pattern
still
packs.
shop.
So it
Are
should
you on
be
there right now,
really
Justin?
easy.
Yeah, if you just click on the 2-slot pancake holster,
2-slot pancake holster, click
all
on
the
that.
tabs have the acrylic templates are going to be the first thing you see.
Let's see, let's just click it on, right, Slickbald.com.
Does it go backwards and not forwards?
It folds all the way.
Alright, hold on.
Where this is
Let me
facing.
put on Do Not Disturb.
This way. That
So that
way.
we don't, nobody text me anything
I was trying
weird.
to do it the wrong way.
You're just making it softer for me. That's fine.
All right, can we see that? Okay. So we'll click on that.
This is new for both of us. I've never even seen it.
Uh,
It's been up for like less than a week, I swear.
2-slot there.
There you go. So we hit one of those.
That one says it's sold out at the moment. I had to talk to Miss Slickbald about that. Are you guys
Shouldn't
yeah. Are you just cutting to make?
No, I've got a pretty solid inventory. That's bringing it to the shows and stuff.
Yeah, your booth looked nice in
Thank you.
Sheridan.
And we're getting we got a little blue light laser, little countertop laser at the moment, which I wore out in 2 months.
Yeah,
literally.
I'm sure
Had
you
to get a
did.
new head. So we got a brand new Epilogue dual
Nice.
head laser coming
Let's see if
about the
I-
week of the 16th, so we should be able to crank stuff out.
I make it less bright.
Those
Yeah, that
epilogues
helps a
are
little
pretty
bit.
fantastic.
And they're made an hour from my house.
Cool.
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just click on the 2-slot, and then there's 7 products that are in there. Looks like that. These
That's
last
just
2
a
things.
download for instructions, yeah,
Okay.
for that.
Do we? I think we carried.
You
these.
carry my
Yep.
paper patterns.
Okay.
All but one.
Oh yeah, and it's in the new cart because you sent it home with me.
Okay.
There was it came home with me. It
then
was like,
you
this
got
needs to be a new item.
Nine
Okay, so
nine
it's
products
part-
under the tab holster, so the top ones there are the
Yeah.
template ones, and then you get the paper ones. Are yours are download?
We have a download, and we have
Okay.
you can order the paper patterns with the booklet as
And then
well.
6 products in there. So it's
Yep.
all the templates are right at the top of that. Just hit your hamburger menu on the side and select what style you want.
Hamburger menu.
That's what that little thing is called, the hamburger.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can learn.
Yeah. That's the technical term for it.
Technical term.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, as long as we're technical.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in and
Yay! Yeah, we'll let you guys get back
checking
to
out
making
what we
jacket.
got going on and checking out a belt
You
and
bet.
introducing you
I might
to.
just sneak over to the side and watch what you guys are doing. This is pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right.
Way outside of my box.
It gets really exciting when I'm tying off knots.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
That's my wife. She's looking for me.
So you want me to send her in? You guys
Yeah,
can
that's
stay now?
fine.
Okay.
That's
All
her
right.
ring. I'll get out of you guys' way.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Good to meet
A
you.
legend in your own right,
Oh,
from what I
I don't
understand.
know about that, but we get some stuff done in the holster shop.
Yeah, well, you make beautiful pieces.
All right. Slap that there.
Yep.
What's up next?
So, we're going to do a top stitch
Okay.
back here on the main panel.
Okay.
Not on the side panel. It looks cooler, I think, when we do this. So,
We're
going
doing it.
to...
We're doing it on the back piece.
Yes, the
Okay.
top stitch will be there. So, we're going to flip it, and we're going to glue here.
All right.
And we can go ahead and do both sides if you want.
Okay.
We don't have to, but we can.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
You're driving this show. I'm doing it all the way to the bottom.
Yep.
Okay. Over the stitch.
Yep, you can
Okay.
just, about an inch.
How are you?
You can answer.
Hi. Great.
We were just checking out the new website. It looks good.
Your back of your head's on camera.
Thank you.
You jinxed me earlier with my increased proficiency at gluing, and now
Now you're getting
now
globby.
it's getting terrible again.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, find a glue booger for you so I can put the new pile on the glue booger.
Now we're gonna try to talk him into entering the clothing category.
And you guys feel free to make yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
Rolly chairs. All right. Thanks. All sorts of them. I'm gonna fill some orders
Really
for a
cool.
few minutes, and then I'll come back in. We can do lunch. Okay. Good. Yeah.
You wanna do? You're gonna eat lunch today, Mark?
Oh, no.
No, not eating lunch today again.
No,
No breakfast with the Black Breakfast Club shirt on.
That's right.
All right. Did I glue enough?
My feeding time is from 5 to midnight.
Yeah.
But not after midnight, because I'll turn into a gremlin.
What time does the baby eat? The baby eat after? Is that when you eat too? You wake up and eat with her
No.
after midnight?
No, she sleeps all night.
Nice.
Put her to bed at 10, and she's asleep till 10 the next morning.
That's good.
Well, I think she was up by 8:30 this morning, which is rare, but still. I was up, so that's cool.
Did I glue enough on my side?
Yeah, you just so much better at it than I am. So we'll let that tack up for a minute, and then we'll start folding it over. And then run top stitch down it.
All right.
And that gets a little slow down here, going over these 2 speed bumps on the top stitch. I don't want anything
Especially
skipped
with
or
that.
spaced weird.
Other foot. So then after we get that turned, we do that top stitch. Where are we at then?
Then we will start putting these.
The front's on.
Yep.
Same process,
We'll
just
do
on
it-
the front.
We'll do it at the shoulders.
Okay.
Do our seam and then our top stitch, and then we'll start attaching those to the side panels and
And then
incorporate our belts.
And then we'll
Belts and
have a
twisters.
vest.
No,
Oh.
kinda. Depends on what style of vest you're going for. We need to get the collar on it and the facing on it. And
A
then we
collarless vest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we'll have a full vest. And when we do the facing, we'll do the zipper, the main zipper at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we just wait for glue to dry.
Waiting.
Is that the radio? What kind of glue is that?
Yeah, Renia, the 315.
It takes so long to set.
So they've been working on, I talked about this the other day, and I probably shouldn't have, we'll see when Reiner comes in, that new formula
Oh, okay.
that sets faster.
Faster.
Yeah, it'll probably replace the 315. There's no different characteristics other than just setting faster. Just a faster set.
That would be great, because I still use the, the weldwood, the rubber-based stuff.
Yeah.
Simply because it doesn't take all day to set. Reiner hates it. He's taking my class. He uses his own glue in my class. Right?
Yeah. So he talked about the last time he brought us, the working name was 320. just because they just step it up at 5 whenever they do it, and that was the only thing that was going to change.
Okay.
So they were going to do some more testing. They had brought bottles. They brought 3 to us, and they brought some others
We'll see. I'll be
around the country.
We'll be at his shop tomorrow or Thursday morning. We don't know which, but.
So you may ask him.
I'm gonna. Cause
You say Springfield Leather was talking about this.
Yeah.
What do you got?
If he's got something, because he knows that's my biggest complaint
Yeah.
with the glue, he'll probably hit me in the head with it when we get there.
Yeah.
When
Well,
I-
good. Well, hopefully, since you're going to be able to see him, maybe he'll have something there for you or some more information.
We're, picking up inventory for blades, so hopefully hopefully he's got something we can launch.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Well, and then when is he coming here? August, Justin?
Yeah.
He'll come back in here, and we'll do another
Yeah, we'll talk about it. That's probably the subject.
chat with him, and then hopefully we can get. Denny was trying to get Don Gonzalez to come in.
Yeah.
They made new friendship there. They
Sure.
kind of talked a little bit the last year, and then when Denny entered, and then
Right.
I was trying to get a tablet out there so we could show the video because we streamed the whole thing
Gotcha.
of making the saddle that Denny did.
Right.
And inside one of the skirts where it goes into the tree, we put a baggie with a piece of paper and a QR code of the whole video series, and like kind of wrote a little note in there. So if anybody ever had to replace the
Right.
sheepskin on it,
Oh,
they'll
that's
have
funny.
that.
Little hidden treasures.
Yeah. If the internet's still a thing when somebody finds it.
Right. Right.
So, all right,
You can get let's get that guy.
there you are.
We really kind of need to get this flattened out, these 2 spots. Give her a couple taps, trying to hit the buckle. That's a little better. Yeah, the machine really loves this little dip right here. That's all nice and flat already. For some reason, I still don't believe you that I'm not going to break this granite.
As I said, I told you I got another piece down there if we do break it.
I'd be impressed if you did.
And I'm sure that it'll be fine. It's just something in my mind. This another little tap right here.
What were you saying? Tunnel Care Bear, Justin?
Oh, they just followed us.
Oh.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
While you guys were talking, instead of
Michael says if I'm sewing and tooling leather, I forget to eat, so I just adopted to the 1 meal a day policy.
There you go. Works well. Okay, we'll do a top stitch or 2. How about
Carry
2?
on. All right, do 2 since we made
Since we made you.
two places to put them.
Okay.
We are noticing that one of the products was out of stock.
Yeah, it's not out of stock, but this is better on Shopify. We'll talk about it later.
Cool, sorry, that came out of the blue, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so sorry. I just need to add a quantity, I guess, so it seems to be not,
That was one of the 2 slots. I don't know.
It was the 2-slot pancake.
okay. I probably just have
Should put that on application like the Etsy store. Can you do that?
no.
So it's just mine.
You can password protect it.
That's true, but I don't want people to get figured out unless
Yeah.
I'm trying to shop.
We have inventory. We can show us.
Yeah, you should be if you're on this, you put a banner at the top.
You know, we're on the lowest tier of Shopify, just so you know, so I don't know if you actually have that ability. I'm sure you guys are on the biggest tier.
I can look at it. I can look at it and see.
Yeah.
See, if you should be able to on your template to add a banner. That should be on the basic, just a banner at the top that says, "Hey, currently a blade order will be delayed 2 weeks or how long that we can put."
Every day, a lot of orders, you get emails from everyone, and it touches too,
Right.
Yeah,
so,
Okay.
okay.
We work out.
Yep.
it's a lot slicker system with it. It's like 2-point-something billion e-commerce websites built on Shopify.
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
So that's it. You gotta have something.
Yeah. Well, we were talking. Like now we use it. Makers, Candy, Weaver, everybody's using it. You know, like even then they use a different ERP system. They're not using Shopify to handle inventory. They handle all of the
Right, that's what we decided, we
Customer.
couldn't use it to, yeah.
customer management type of stuff. But the shopability of it, and then just keeping it consistent. So if somebody goes on yours and they do the shop pay stuff, or if you guys have that, or if they do it through Weaver, then they come to ours and they do, it's already linked, that's their account, so they can just do that. They don't have to log in and do it. They just have the same kind of login that goes across everybody's website. So it's
Very cool.
make it easy for the customers to share between, like, we don't need all the customers, we don't need all the customers.
Also, the
And-
tracking within the Shopify app is amazing as a customer. You don't have to like click on your email and
Yeah,
look for the
we've
tracking
heard
number.
that.
It's all built into the app.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I send you emails, you can sign up for text messages to send you order updates and things like that. Come a long way from the first website, Kevin and Bill.
I remember the very first Maker's Leather Supply website, when I started all that BS.
So there's
I
a-
paid thousands of dollars for that thing.
There's it's called Wayback Machine, it's web archives.
Exactly.
So you can go back to the Wayback Machine, you can type in your URL that it would have been, and you can go back and look at it, how
No
it
kidding.
looked all the way back then. Boy, look how far we have come. The first one of Kevin's was just, you go on there and the front page is just words. That's just it, it's just words. You can't hardly click on anything,
Oh,
it's just
no.
a bunch
Back
of
in the
words.
day, you were building it on Netscape or,
I
Yeah,
don't remember,
Something silly.
like I said, I paid someone to do it,
yeah.
and it was a real website, a real commerce website. but
yeah, I remember.
I was real happy when Aaron bought it.
Yeah. And then he turned around and sold it.
Yeah, he did better on the sale than I did, I think.
Yeah, he did a lot of work to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's impressive. It's good to see him win the Al Stoneman Award and
Yeah.
be rewarded for what he'd given back to the leather community.
Right.
We need to get. I was talking, you know, he's like, I don't know if I want to do the whole thing again and like fill out the whole rigmarole, and I was like, we can just reuse it. He's like, yeah, but my story changes each year. Like the ending part of the story changes. He's like, I don't want to type it all in and get other pictures. And I was like, we just need to get somebody to enter Kevin again. I think Kevin would be
Yeah.
a good entry into it. He would deserve something like that. Especially now,
Mhm.
you know, what Springfield Leather has become from
Oh, yeah. Right.
being this location being a candy store,
Right.
and then wanting to bankrupt it, and him go, well, what if I just buy out this location?
Yeah. Heck of a deal. Well, the new sign out front, the new roof and all that.
Yeah.
It was under construction when we were here last year.
Yeah, it looks nice. That we put some pictures online, and at night it glows. It glows blue like this does.
Oh, no
behind
kidding.
it. Yeah,
Nice.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
that was something that I was like, can we get that? Can we just pass that to outside? He's like, I think it'd be cool. It was a while without it. We had to rebuild that whole front on
Oh,
it.
yeah.
The structure of it
It
was
was gone
not
last year,
doing
yeah.
well.
Right.
Yeah.
This has got to be exciting to watch.
So before you got into making coats and leather stuff, what were you doing?
You mean for a job?
Well, just, I guess in general.
Yeah, I've been a trim carpenter for a long time,
Okay.
until somewhat recently. I got my real estate license and helped my wife out. She's like mega pro at real estate. She's so good at it. So I just kind of am her Padawan. So I've been doing that, and I don't know, I work on motorcycles, and I used to paint motorcycles. But that's kind of a hassle, having a space to do that, and,
Yep.
and just breathing in all that gross stuff.
And you flew. You had a plane.
Yeah, I used to be a pilot in my younger days.
Cool.
Figured out a lot of that yesterday. His repertoire of ability is substantial.
Jack of all trades, master of none. Not even close to master of anything.
I understand that.
I like to dabble.
Walked into my barn, we've got a machine shop, dab shop, wood shop, leather shop, car shop.
I'm jealous. If I had a space like that, I would scare my wife.
20 years I was a machine tool fabricator. Worked in a custom engineering shop building robots and conveyors and all kinds of garbage like that.
Wow.
So I always like to ask people, especially when people ramp up real quick like he's doing, like obviously he's had some, used his hands before, whether it was in leather or not, but trim carpenter fits right in.
That was where I, connection I made, and it's like, oh, I did finish carpentry, and I was like, oh,
Okay.
well, this makes sense.
Yeah, I did that from the time I was 23 until probably just a couple of years ago.
Even on the first gun belts you did, like that, you can just see the attentiveness.
Except for that hand stitching, goodness. Horrible.
There was just a spot here or there. This is your first time doing it. Nothing to be sad about.
Yeah, the first seat cover I did for my bike the stitching wasn't the prettiest, but the second one, it was actually way better.
That's usually the way it works.
And then I got a machine and haven't hand stitched anything since. Alright.
Tie your knots.
Tie my knots. This is when everybody gets on the edge of their seat. Just can't wait. Can't wait to see you tie a knot.
Chevy did that on his. Maybe it was like one holster of
It was on his
his
knife.
tied. Huh?
I think it was his knife sheath.
His knife sheath that he tied a knot on it. He got counted off a point for it. These you won't ever really be able to see.
Well, this is, it's a different application, different type of stitching, really. So it won't be long before this pattern pack's on your shelf, right?
Well, we talked about that. Maybe we can talk more about it. So Mark was deciding if he wanted to keep it just for himself while he made jackets, and maybe if he had a new iteration of a jacket, and then this was the basic one, and then sell it, or just if he decided the jacket making is not, he moves on to something else and maybe starts painting houses instead of painting
I
motorcycles.
won't do that. if I pursue making jackets for a living or some kind of a side hustle, I would protect my patterns probably, because that's
Yeah.
kind of what the jacket guys do.
Yeah.
I felt that way about holsters for about a minute and a half.
And then you're like, let's make some money doing that.
And someone explained to me, what are they going to get better than you and take your business? No, just share.
Okay. Well, I'm not
And if they do
100%
get better
against
than you
it.
and take a little bit of business, you taught them how to do it.
That's
Just
true.
riding that.
True. Sorry, I'm just kind of adding
Touching up your rough marks.
just a little bit while I'm looking at it, and I don't forget. Okay. So now, get our pieces here. That one's obviously for that side. This one's for this side. So, right sides together, we'll actually flip it all upside down and do it like this. So that's how we're going to attach these.
Okay. So I need to glue this part.
Yep, just along that top.
I'll share glue with you.
That's nice of you.
I mean, you're the one that squirted it out, so.
What are we gonna? I guess we'll do your side first. Do these one at a time.
What you working on over there, Justin?
Oh, Michael was asking a question. I sent him to the contact page of Slickbald's website.
Oh, what's the email that a customer could contact you?
Slickbaldcustom@gmail.com.
Slickbaldcustom@gmail.
I didn't know slickball.com made it over enough.
Slickbald Customs.
Customs, yes.
Sweet. Yeah, so when we do this, we just make sure our armhole is on the same side as our armhole on this. Otherwise, you can just get confused because everything seems backwards.
I know Liz tried to put our sleeves on backwards.
You gotta watch her.
They're wearing a jacket like a straight jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, that pre-curved sleeve would work against you a bit if they were all
Yeah,
backwards, wouldn't it?
I can glue this part of this one,
Yeah. Go for it.
but I put my arm in that glue.
So up until now, everything's been really easy to run through the machine because it's all been basically just two-dimensional.
Right.
When we start getting things like this attached, you get a lot more bulk, and you have to be careful how you set it up.
Or folding things around and keeping other stuff out of the way.
Yeah, and yeah, I've made a mistake there before.
So to a part that didn't need to be.
Yep. Man, this leather's gonna look so cool when it's worn in.
I don't know. I was walking down an aisle over at the other building, and I was like, oh, wasn't a good black that I could find. You know, that's kind of weird to say that I couldn't find a good black.
Right.
But I couldn't find a good black, a black that I was like that I was in love with, and I walked by this and I was like,
That's cool.
a roll of 4, and I was like, let's pull this out and see.
So what is this?
Just an odd lot.
Okay.
I don't even know where we bought it from.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so
I don't know. I think that yellow would be cool, but the being able to wear it.
it would be pretty loud unless you had
Yeah.
like a yellow bike or something.
There was other pictures that I was looking at. Gotta find your text thread.
My text thread?
Yeah, that's where the pictures are at.
That's right.
This was another one that I had found.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty obnoxious.
That would be bold. That would be very bold.
There's a market for it, though.
And then there was this good-looking brown.
That's a pretty cool.
Yeah. But then I came across the gray after that, and I was like, that's the one.
Okay, we'll stitch that on real quick.
Well, the size 42, I might have to place an order. Those are nice.
I'm sending all my stuff after these videos are done. I'm going to trace all my patterns out and
Yeah.
send them to a pattern grader.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get back a size range from 36 to 48.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And
Didn't even know that was a service you could.
Same. I was
Dude.
like, oh, that's a thing?
yeah,
Well, it's different than like belt sizing.
Yeah.
And we talked about it a little bit, and Mark had talked about doing his own size grading, but even like on sleeves, you can't just go, I want to add this length to it. You got to add
Right.
some here, you got to add
It's
some
just
up
like
there.
doing a Muscadero gun belt. You got to stretch
Yeah.
it in different places.
Yeah, so evidently there's people that do
People
that,
that do that.
that grade patterns, and
Someone said this morning when we first got on that there is a school for it too.
oh, that
I'm
there's
sure, yeah.
I think just any fashion design school, you
Right.
can either go to be a pattern designer or a pattern grader. But I don't know of any specific schools.
there's got to be a CAD program now that you
I
can
would
do it like,
think.
and you can put it
You
in
would
and just.
think.
Digitally,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah.
You guys make it so complicated. There are lots of the seamstress websites where they'll teach you how to do that, and they're probably the software
Yeah.
that all
Yeah.
the designers use. Like I bet Noah knows of 3 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Off the top of her head.
I sat down.
The CAD would be great.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I sat down and graded a couple of the panels. It just took me so long. I'm thinking, man, I have so many sizes to do and so many patterns and so many pieces. I just got
It's overwhelming, isn't it?
really quick and thought, you know what, I'm just going to let a pro do it. And I can get back to sewing, which is what I like to do.
I think it's a good part of being a business person, understanding that there's people out there that are
Yes.
smarter and trained in areas than you're not. Get them to do it. Get it done right.
That's it. They came out with a holster press.
Yeah.
CNC'd out of wood, plywood and stuff. And it took 12 of them to share, and I sold 15. And came home, immediately made 4 more to sell, finish those orders, and take one to blade. But in the back of my mind, it's like, all right, I just upgraded to a $30,000 laser. Do I really want to upgrade to a $20,000 CNC machine from the
Right.
one that I have, which isn't doing the job very well? But I'm like, my town is full of machine shops that some of them is going to be able to will do plywood for me. Just
Yeah,
get
or
this crap out.
I'm sure
real
there's a
fast.
cabinet shop that's there.
Something, right?
Yeah.
It's just someone that'll cut out, 50 of them. And all I got to just put them together.
Rusty was the same way. So we have big lasers, but he wanted to do CNC stuff to make
Right.
retail
You're fine.
to whatever things on retail.
Sure.
Retail
No, I was just letting you know I was right there.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
you get startled.
displays, like
Yeah,
retail
right,
displays. And he
right.
wanted, so we had a CNC machine. I was like, when did we have a CNC machine? And then like,
pin router or proper CNC machine?
I don't even remember.
Okay.
I was more like, really, do we need this? So we made a whole area in the shop over there for this to take up like shop spots. So I don't remember. It was nice. It was big.
Yeah.
And then he moved on to, we wanted to do like our t-shirts that we have. He's like, oh, and so I was a general manager, marketing director for a screen printing and apparel business from where I came from. And so he was like, oh, we need to get a t-shirt printing thing. And I was like, you do understand that the diameter of these are not like
a
5
screen
feet.
printing machine?
Oh yeah.
Oh hell, that's like a 15-foot space.
Yeah, bigger than that.
Yeah.
So like if you get one that's automatic that has, 10 heads on it, you're talking 30 feet.
Right.
30 feet.
Huge commitment.
And then you've got an air compressor that goes along with it, the power you got to run with it. Then you're done with that part. Then you need a tunnel, a 15-foot tunnel, a dryer to go through there.
gosh.
And you got to be able to vent that. Then you got to be, and it's not just like somebody loads a shirt on. It's a whole skill to be able to lining up the artwork, being able to line up artwork.
I added all that inventory.
Okay, thank you.
Dang. Isn't it so nice?
So,
like, to
if
be able to-
anybody's looking, it's online now.
Things are out of stock. And I was like, you do realize that we will take up one whole area of these strip malls to have a screen printing thing. Well, you think we can do it? No, I do not think we can do it.
Next part of the sleep.
No, because I'm not going to run it. I can't do it, and the other stuff.
It's a whole separate business.
It really
Yeah,
is.
It's a whole separate cash flow. It's a whole separate
Oh
business.
yeah, for sure. So then I was like, can I just pick a company that I'd like to do that I would like to do? So we did that instead. So I'm sure we can talk him into something else here before long.
But don't tell anybody, there's a company out there called Weaver. And they're a direct import, Chinese direct
Oh, I
import kind
see.
of place. They have actual quality equipment. Right?
Oh, really?
So they make a t-shirt, prints out the thing, and they will heat press.
Oh, like a direct
Do the whole
garment?
thing for about $500.
Right.
Wow.
Well, so then we start doing hat patches on them. And
Everybody's doing hat patches.
everybody's doing it, and we'll do custom. And so there's, we have marketing companies that are here, or other apparel companies, but they just outsource everything. They're just the third party. I was like, we just need to take it to them, and because almost everybody else before, like 2 years ago, it was done in China.
Right.
They just do them on little, either faux leather or whatever. And I was like, we can do it here. So now R&D was like, we need a quicker way to put them on hats. And I was like, well, we need to get a hat press with a sticky tape on it. Well, can't we just press it on there? You want it done right, or do you just want to do it?
Texas adhesives.
Yeah.
That's our main business, I think. Is
Yep.
all that adhesive,
Yep.
special adhesives for it, doing the patches, all that business.
So you can press it on hats, and so you press on the hats, and the adhesive will stay. When you go to pull the leather off, the adhesive
Sticks to
and
the cloth.
and it stays there, and you pull the leather backing off of it, and then now you have a sticker with leather fuzz on it. So I was like, he's like, oh, so we wouldn't even have to sew these on them. And I said, well, you can still sew it. You can still sew it, then put your adhesive on it, and now it looks like a sewn patch, and it's going to stick like a sewn patch like that. It's not going to come off. So that's a venture, custom leather patches that we've gone into. Well, I mean, our laser department, we have a whole girl that we laser out our acrylic templates, and then she handles custom stamps. We have, if people want us to do it, we'll do it. And they're like, well, can I just blah blah blah, and we'll give them suggestions for people
See behind you again.
to do it. But we can get your brass, we can get your brass stamps here, same as just anybody else, magnesium ones, what have you. But again, somebody that is good at doing it.
Right.
I'm not going to get a CNC machine and start making brass stamps on it. I have a relationship with Sergey.
There you
I'll
go.
just give a message.
Send it to him, that's it.
Well, there were some tools that Denny had, and whenever he's back tomorrow to be able to talk to him, he stamped out some stamps that he liked that are no longer in production.
Right.
and he was like, I would love to see these again.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent pictures of Sergey, and
There
he
you go.
made the sample should be here soon
Oh, nice.
to look at those. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting that fiber laser because it was very little and get the dual head. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't want to compete with my friends who make the Delrin stamps. I don't want to compete with the Sergeys of the world. I can at least make my own one,
Yeah.
and different things. So,
And we've made Delrin just to like do samples for somebody, like how is it actually going, to look, and give them a pretty good example before they get it on the brass or they get it on the nail. Are they happy with it? Then we'll do it.
you do a big piece like that, brass, it's a huge commitment.
Right, yeah.
That's where the Delrin comes in. You're doing a whole notebook cover, just boom, click it on there, and carbon.
Yeah, I've got some other plates that are okay for like a field note journal, so Denny tooled out some stuff, sent it over to Sergey, and I was like, can you make me some brass plates for it? So it's like you can
Still
stand.
on 3D embossing plates?
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, it's over on, just on the corner of my desk.
What's up?
Above that other red microphone, there's two metal plates that are there.
On the bottom or?
It may be on that valet tray that's there.
Oh, yeah, I see one. Okay, with my hand.
Yeah, we won't show these off, so we're not on camera enough to see them, but.
Wow. I cannot wait to play with this.
So it just goes on a field note journal.
Yeah.
Our laser will make it.
I do, man. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think he CNC goes out,
Oh, okay.
set up, lasered.
That's pretty tight for CNC, though.
Yeah.
What kind of CNC is it?
I don't know what he uses over there.
So you get like a 3D scan to get the data into the computer? Do you know how they do
I
that?
don't know how he does it. I just sent him the whole. I sent him the
Those are cool.
yeah, just the actual field note that Denny tooled out. So we gave it to him as a present. But then, hey,
By the way, can you do this?
can you do this? Here's this one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So like, just a product to sell on a field note thing. But it's kind of been in the works. So tell Russ I can buy more at the strip mall. More of the strip mall for screen printing. Well, the head shop that was right next door, they closed down.
Oh, did they?
But we didn't buy.
Old Cosmic Fish.
Cosmic.
They sold the building to somebody else
Oh.
before. They didn't really even go on market, I don't believe.
I think the person who owns the other half of the building is the one that bought it.
Yeah. I tried to get it to where we could get the tobacco shop that's down there, and we just have the video studio there.
Oh, yeah.
And so have like 2 or 3 studios kind of set up so we can be, different places for
Oh, wow, yeah.
videos for
Right.
stuff, and then have Joanne's did it for a while. I think Joanne's going into business, but they
Yeah,
had
they are.
they had what's that? What's the little laser? The Glowforge.
Oh.
They had
gosh.
Glowforge where you could come in and rent time and
Oh,
use the
gotcha.
Glowforge, but do the same thing like a maker's
Right.
area where
Yeah.
we'd have a class, some class 20, some class
You can rent
26.
time on a stitcher. You can rent time on a
Yeah,
clicker,
or if you're
rent time
local
on
or
a
whatever, or enough to drive, and like here's your just monthly.
fee.
If you want to do a monthly fee, and you get
want
to be in.
craft club.
But I haven't got him talked into that yet. I'll keep working on him.
There's a certain amount of liability you got to deal with there as well, but
Yeah, I'm sure you
I'm
can.
sure
contract
you get
right
a
now.
team of lawyers and write up and just
Yeah, that's why McDonald's on their ice cream they put caution contents may be hot on their ice cream.
I know.
That's insane.
That one lady that spilt it on herself.
Oh,
and then,
right. And one,
then-
yeah, it just takes one moron to screw up everything.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're ready to top stitch these
Top
little
stitch
guys.
it.
Yeah, little short stitches, and then we'll tie it all together on the sides.
We've just been having a side conversation and
That's good.
watching you stitch.
I like that.
Is it going? Everybody figuring out what needs to go on from here?
Yep, we sewed it this way first. And then
This is our
glued
front
it.
panels. Make sure they're on the right side.
We want to top stitch at the shoulder. It doesn't really matter if you want to put the top stitch on the back panel or on the front panel. On this one, I like it.
On the front.
I like this
Yeah.
top stitch to be on the front because this is all plain and you have a top stitch here. So
I concur.
It'll kind of add a little more flair on this one.
More flair.
So yeah, we will sew this one up. It'd be really cool if the machine was right here. It'd be hard to do. I don't think we can do that. But then I'll quit running over you.
Yeah, I mean, I can. You're getting ready to use the machine. I can move it.
No, we're good.
The problem is where the cameras are set up right now,
Yeah, I was just.
and it's hard to set. If we put the table, well, we push the table out farther, then my camera's in the wrong spot for overhead.
Then we'll have to deal with.
We'll just rearrange the entire room.
We're gonna do a reconstruction overnight on this video studio. See, this is, we've had a whole nother tattoo shop. Then we,
Right?
this is our sewing area. Our little work table is not quite as long. It's not 8 foot long. We just have a 4 foot by 4 foot.
Yeah, right? There you go.
Slide the sewing machine in by it. Michael said he sent you an email.
Okay.
He's the Desert Eagle.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I said I haven't done one. I've only been doing this 20 years, but at the same time, the thought of doing one is pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you saw that deal that Steve Van Blue did, he always asked everybody what their favorite tools were. And
Yeah.
one was a manila folder, a pencil, and a ruler.
Yeah.
To design holsters. I love designing holsters.
Yeah.
So give me a challenge. Throw me a Desert Eagle. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Michael's a cool guy. He's actually, his family was in Columbia, not Columbia, Missouri, but Columbia,
Columbia,
the country,
Yeah,
and,
South
he,
America, Columbia.
and he was kidnapped.
Oh, shit.
I think him and his siblings were kidnapped maybe once or twice. I don't know how after he told us in the story. So he, I believe it was a stroke that he had,
Okay.
or something. He'll comment. 3 times he says. He was,
3 times?
3 times he was kidnapped.
Dang.
So he has one arm that,
You get a patch at 5.
one arm that's just kind of dead.
Yeah.
So he just sews with his feet, stamps and some stuff.
Holy cow.
Liz has a dragon mask that he made for her, and he made me that hat.
Oh, wow.
And then we have a teddy bear pattern, and he was able to put a teddy bear pattern
Cool.
together. Yeah.
Very cool.
Myers making himself a jacket, but he didn't do his with any pockets. He said I pretty much left out anything that was hard.
That's the way I sew.
Yeah. I just love when customers. We have another lady with the saddle video that Diddy did. She bought leather and she's making a saddle following along
Okay.
with the video. She didn't do it in real time, but it sounds like Myers
Are you
doing
talking
it.
about Tessa?
Yeah.
I actually bought one of her sons a tree while they were at Sheridan. He's gonna make one alongside of her.
Very cool. Well, that was kind of the hope of that whole thing, was somebody that hadn't, people watch videos.
You guys are gonna go for a ride for a second. I'm gonna
Videos about
adjust
that.
the camera a little.
Or that they have no intent to make it. Maybe somebody watch the whole show, like, how's that? They had a whole show on the Discovery Channel of how it's made.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Andy Anderson shop, yeah.
Yeah. So then, I was like, okay, let's do that. So now we go from 2 sides of leather and a tree, and by the end, then we're in a saddle.
Yeah.
And then other people that are like, oh, I can give it a shot.
Right.
Have enough confidence to do it. And it was awesome for Vinny. So after we were in the middle of doing this, and somebody that he had made a saddle for, I don't know, has he told you the story? He said we were in the middle of this video, and somebody that he had made a saddle for says, will you make me another one? He goes, well, I'm doing this video right now. Have you ever thought about doing that? He had taken the saddle class, and when then he taught him the saddle class,
Right.
made him a saddle on it, and the guy made himself a saddle. And he goes, would you ever thought about doing it again? He goes, you find me at least three people to do a saddle, and I'll do a saddle class. So he found 3 people, and then we talked about it in the video,
Yeah.
filled it up to 6 people, and he did a saddle class, and just January to March
Yeah.
or April of the saddle.
Oh, cool.
Of the saddle class. Had a guy that flew in from Utah every weekend.
Dang.
Dang.
Would fly in,
That's commitment.
and then packaged up his saddle when he got done and shipped it.
Yeah,
Shipped
sure.
it back to himself, and it was only like $50 or $100 to ship it. I was like, the
That's
whole
pretty
saddle,
good,
and I was
yeah.
like, golly, that's
pretty all right.
cheap.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool, and that was awesome for him to
to do that saddle and it turned into being able to teach the class
Yeah.
again. So I think every beginning part of the year until he doesn't want to do it anymore, we're going to
Nice.
do a saddle class.
Cool. Cool.
Let's see, Michael said he had a stroke in 2018,
Okay.
and that's what led him down to the leather world. Severed a nerve cluster in 1987 in the U.S. Marines. Lost the use of his arm, his right arm, when he was severed a nerve, and then had the stroke. But I think it was something along the lines of being able to do something with your hands after you have a stroke or continue on that path helps with recovery and just being a part of it. My mother-in-law had a stroke.
Well, Semper Fi, man. Hoorah.
My mother-in-law, she had a stroke as well, and she was a trail runner. So she's back to running. She's back to running now.
Good deal.
I think a year after she got done, she ran a half marathon or something along those lines. So
That's incredible.
yeah.
You come back.
Meyer says he'd fly here every weekend if he had a plane. This guy did it commercially.
Oh yeah,
Like he
sure.
flew commercially over here.
Could you just taking that saddle back as check bags?
Mm.
That's why it was $50. It was just an
Maybe
oversized
so.
bag.
Maybe that was it. Well, that's what Mark's gonna do. He's gonna get his plane back, get his plane license all back. He's gonna fly people in for the saddle class.
Just you. I'm gonna fly you around. Remember your bike.
Oh, that's right. We're gonna fly me to my softball umpiring every weekend, so I don't have to fly commercially.
There you go.
There we go. Now we have little top stitches, and it's all almost a vest now.
Pretty bitchin'.
Can you try it on?
Why aren't you gluing?
Why don't you try it on?
Oh, it's gonna look awesome. Some kind of welder's apron or something.
A welder's apron. Yeah.
Does it fit? Does it feel okay through the?
It's a little
through the
loose
blade?
around
Okay.
the belly. I think you maybe put a little bit much
Okay.
in. Yeah.
Maybe I did. The back looks good though.
All right. What are we gluing?
We are going to glue. We can do whichever side you want to do. How about we turn it this way?
Okay. I'm gonna glue this, and
Yep,
you're gonna glue
I'm
that.
gonna glue that. But we need more glue.
Our glue is dried out.
Do you want me to find a real big
Oh,
booger to put
it's.
on?
Camera's off here.
You just wanted to see if she'd do it.
You think I could get down and out? Ha
Limbo.
It's like the
Limbo
camera.
channel.
It's like the camera limbo. What are you thinking for lunch, Chris?
Oh,
You gonna go to the same spot we went to last time?
wherever you guys want to go, you're from here. So far, we found a couple of good bars to eat at. One was called Black Sheep down in downtown.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah, the
Bitchin'
downtown
burger.
location.
Oh, the burger's great.
Good burger down there.
Did you get a shake at the end?
No,
The
that's all I could
shakes.
do to finish the burger.
Oh
and
my
smoked
god.
fries.
Which one did you get?
The blue burger.
That's the
Uh-huh.
best one they have in my opinion.
Yeah, that was good.
I love that burger.
I get the Jamaican Me Crazy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit warm though.
Well,
Am I going on this piece
from
here?
Missouri, probably.
Yeah, just up to that. You know, you can stop here if you want.
Okay.
There's a lot of good places to eat around here.
It's like a point where, like Springfield being in the middle, we kind of just are the restaurant testers.
Right.
I mean, I worked in the restaurant industry for 15 years, and one of the things that Springfield was known for is if you could open a restaurant,
If it could survive
Springfield
here.
will survive here, will survive anywhere else in the United States.
That's kind of like it is in Boulder and Longmont.
Yeah.
It's the population's there, the economy's there. So if you don't have a good food, you're not going to last very long.
The other good spot is Brewing Company, Springfield Brewing Company.
That's good.
I prefer Bricktown, but the Springfield Brewing Company is good too.
Brewco is just local.
Yeah.
Bricktown's not local.
Yeah.
That's the way I am when I go, like to other college towns or whatever. It's
Right.
like, where would you go eat? Well, we got a Cheddar's. No.
No.
I don't want a
Yeah, we
chain.
have a Cheddar back home. I'm gonna go there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can go to Cheddar's at
That's how it
home.
was
What?
at Sheridan. It's like I don't want to go where. I don't want to go to Taco Bell or McDonald's.
No.
Like, let's go. Like we went to Silver Spur in the morning or Cowboy Cafe. And
Right.
We tried the brewery in town. It wasn't it was probably at the bottom of our list while we were there.
Yeah, I wasn't real impressed with the brewery, but there's a McAllister's Steakhouse. Is it McAllister's? It's kind of out of town. It's up in like where the high school and the fairgrounds and all
Yeah.
that are. Really good food.
Really?
Right across from the golf courses, you might imagine.
Okay.
But it was really, really tasty. And if you sit at the bar, you get free bacon bites.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was in, where did I go? I was in Des Moines, and somebody here was like, "Oh, you need to go to the Angry Goldfish." And I was like, "Okay."
All right.
So we went out to the Angry Goldfish. We pull up to the outside, and the outside looks like. If you turn the camera around and you looked at this, you're like, "This doesn't look like behind here." It's like, this looks ridiculous. The outside looked rough.
Yeah.
We go inside, and it's a great looking pub, and they had Angry Goldfish for $1 on the menu. Well, they would take goldfish and they would soak them in sriracha,
Oh, shit.
and that was what their Angry Gold. So you got a bowl of goldfish.
Oh,
with,
no, thank you.
Real goldfish or the goldfish crackers?
I can understand your misconception of that, but it's the goldfish crackers.
Okay.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday about a college in a small town, and they're like, it's a college for small
It was a little
small
women's
women's
co-
small women's college, and I was like, we were like, oh,
Can you still say that?
How tall, how short do you have to be to be able to go to college here?
Well, that was an honest question about the real goldfish or goldfish crackers.
It was an honest question. They over the cracker ones.
Okay.
I don't know if you can say cracker
not as
anymore
exciting.
either. I don't know if cracker is okay to say.
You're gonna get canceled.
I've said way worse stuff.
And where are you at, Chris? In the country?
North of Denver.
North of Denver.
Yeah.
There's a steakhouse out that way that I like to go to whenever we go to Breck to go ski. In Silverthorne.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Mint.
Okay.
So Silverthorne, a little mining town.
Right.
It's this old like mining building that was there, like their old
Okay.
saloon type thing. You go in there and you order your steak, and then the sides are family style sides. So you just
Right.
order for the whole
Whole
group.
table, yeah.
But then you go over and there's a big grill that's probably like this, and you grill your own steak. So
Right.
they have the sauces, you can grill it, just put whatever you
nice.
want on. So they're getting prime cuts of meat that aren't quite as expensive as you would
Yeah.
get somewhere else. But just the experience to be able to
Oh, sure.
to cook your own
We've
steak.
done that, yeah. There used to be a place in Dallas like that.
Yeah. Can't complain about your steak being overcooked then.
That's right.
No, none of you do it. Just kind of stick these together.
Garrett said it's hard to get canceled when your viewers are as twisted as you are.
Nice.
You got to kind of call your audience there, don't you?
Yeah. We took the kids to Frackleton's in Sheridan.
Yep, Frackleton's is a pretty good place to eat. Frackleton's, the Pony Bar is pretty decent.
This is my heaven?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, just before I forget, there's some yellow that Kevin's putting in our bay that's like super heavy, but that's for me for one of my customers.
Okay.
So.
Well, remember, I'm doing it from Grant. I'm
Oh,
doing my
perfect.
shop.
Then it don't matter. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, I need to talk to Tony about that. Or Justin, do I just unhook all my computer and take my computer over there?
I was wondering how you were gonna do it.
I don't know
I
either.
thought you had a plan. To be honest. I was like,
No.
I hope he's got one.
No, the plan will happen on Thursday morning. And then we'll stream Thursday afternoon.
I generally do better without a plan, especially if something coming into something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Wing it every time.
Yep. That's working. It's working so far for us, or for me. We're just winging it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go sew this up. Let me get all my stuff in order here.
Nobody complained about us having side conversations while you sew.
That's good.
Like we're watching what you did. We just did the other side of our gusset to the front, gusset to the back now, or we already did, now we gusset to the front.
Yep.
Lay our back stitch on, and then we'll flip it over and do the
We'll do
finishing
our top
stitch.
Yep. And that gets more interesting now that it's three-dimensional.
Tony squared. Oh, I did upset a Karen.
You did?
Yeah, not this week. It was, and it wasn't even last week. It was the week before that. What? No, was it last week?
No, it was the week before. You weren't here last week.
Yeah, it was an actual Karen. I asked an honest question, and I guess I got an honest answer. It just turns out I've always wondered, and it's a question that I ask to most Karens that I come in contact with. Like, how do you feel if somebody is like, "Don't be a Karen"? Like, if somebody says, "How does that feel?"
Right.
She didn't like the question. She didn't care for it at
She
all.
didn't care for that.
No, she did not. No, I mean, I think it's a fine question.
It's a legitimate question.
Like, how do you feel if somebody calls you Tony the Tiger? I mean,
Right.
it doesn't bother me. I mean,
Yeah.
I love Frosted Flakes. Like, it doesn't bother me. I'm just curious about, like, how emotionally it damages
did,
you.
right?
And turns
Apparently it
out,
did.
she was highly damaged. So, oh well. It's the behind the scenes jacket video. I think this is the thing with watching our live videos is that you never really know what's going to happen. So
Right.
last Friday we were going to do trading cards,
Okay.
like Jim Linnell
Yeah.
does. We were going to do that. Well, Rusty had come in the day before or something else. He's like, I need to make a knife sheath for something. Okay. Well, we'll do a knife. We'll make a
Yeah.
knife sheath. So like on a Thursday, we decided that Friday's video is going to be different. Well, then it's getting close to 11 o'clock and nobody had seen Rusty yet. I was like, okay, we'll go back to trading cards. And then Rusty shows up about time to start streaming. Okay, we're back to a knife sheath. You never know what's really going to happen. Like who would have thought that, you know, we come into a jacket build and Slickbald is going to come in, Chris is going to
wandering off
pop
the
in,
street.
and then Mark's like, oh, one of the very first things I made. In fact, the very first thing I made was off one of his patterns. Like it's just like things connect.
Picked a good place to start.
Garrett says his neighbor, Karen, doesn't like
Doesn't
like it either. So I guess maybe there's a Facebook page of like Karens.
Angry Karens.
Angry Karens at Facebook.com.
You've seen the South Park episode where Randy was the Karen?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's
Yeah?
epic. Yeah. It's epic.
The Comedy Channel came up with some good stuff.
Yeah.
Or like stuff to find to put on. I know that the writers of South Park are just geniuses in themselves of like
Oh, 100%.
of writing, entertaining,
100%.
like the
If
Book
you
of
want to
Mormon.
really see it, just find them on YouTube and stuff. There's like a lot of stuff that are popping up now about how the processes and stuff they do.
They
I
do
would
everything.
watch it.
Comedy Central doesn't know what they're getting until that day
Yeah,
that it
the
airs.
week of the show.
That's how they can have two shows written depending on which president gets elected,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
If they literally Tuesday night, Wednesday they'd go to the air.
Yeah. All right. The people shuffle.
The people shuffle.
And then they rebuilt the La Casina. There's a whole documentary on that. If you don't know, in Denver, there's a big, huge Mexican restaurant called La Casina. It is a tourism staple in Denver.
Now, do I need to glue that?
I was just gonna try to illustrate
Oh, okay.
if I can get it.
I got you.
We got our
There we go.
gusset attached there. Now we need our top stitch.
Yep, we'll do a top stitch again on the body piece. On the body panel.
On the front piece.
Yes.
And leave our gusset clean of a top stitch.
Yes.
Oh, that tucks your belt in.
And that tucks
Nice.
the belt in nice too. Cool. So we'll do that. So we can either do that now or I can attach this side
You're
again.
you're building the jacket.
I'm just,
You tell me.
I don't know, remember yesterday I said it's your world and I'm just kind of crafting in it.
We'll do this side.
Okay.
We'll complete one side.
That'll work. Yep. That's the way we do it.
Okay. Something happened in the shop.
Oh no.
I don't know what it was.
Sneezed.
Oh. W's quite a big fellow. He's what, like 6'7",
Yeah, he's 6'6", 6'7" easily.
Oh, gosh.
280, 300. Oh, he's a big dude. He goes to bed at like 6 o'clock. And then wakes up at like 3 a.m.
Oh, God.
and reads. He gets done with a book like in a day.
Oh, hell.
And
Takes random vacations in England. Takes a week off. I'm
He-
like, hey, where have you been, W? And he's like, I was in England.
That would be fun.
then he'll ask questions every now and then. He'll come around and he'll be like, give me a country. Okay, so you name a country, and then he'll tell you something about the history of this country, or like a war that happened.
He's been really stuck on like the history of China lately, and the other day he caught me. He's like, "Hey, I want to tell you about." And he said something random. He was like, "Do you want to know about this vegetable?" And I was like, "Sure." And he goes, "Trick, it's about China's history." And then he went on and told me some fact about the history of China.
Am I gluing enough here?
Oh yeah. Just admiring your skill. Precision.
Yeah. That's what I think is really needed. A skill industry, expert gluer.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go.
That'd be my next calling after I get done with whatever I do here. I haven't figured that out yet either. So first I think I got to figure out what I do here so I can move on to the next step.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out what you do here ever since I met you.
That's true. I mean, you're not the first person to say that. What do you even do there?
I'm sure you do plenty.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, you would. Okay, I'm gonna put a clip on this
Do you want to glue my pocket?
so I don't do something dumb. Like sew it into your side panel.
Why does my pocket end so abruptly?
Yeah. I've done this. I've done it before. Why I
You
take-
haven't seen the liner that's going in this thing.
Very manly. Very masculine.
Don't put me in that category.
Toxic masculine.
Dude, I like it. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome.
Especially with the gray, that's gonna look cool.
Yeah, it's gonna look really cool with the gray.
Very nice.
You know when people get a custom student, they're like, what does your liner look like? I feel like that's a question that
Yeah.
people ask. What's your liner?
I just went and looked for the most ostentatious liner I could find.
Is that what you did?
And I sent you a picture of the two loudest ones, and you liked the loudest of the two.
They had two loud ones there, and you picked the loudest of the louds.
Loudest of the loud.
Loud color or a
Pattern.
loud print for a loud person.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. That's what that's gonna do. So, it'll be more fun getting it into the machine now, because we got all this stuff we gotta miss. So now it starts getting a little bit more interesting. When we get the sleeves on, and then you have to top stitch all around the shoulder, that is the craziest
flatbed
stitch.
machine.
Yep, that's the
That's
craziest
where you need a
stitch.
26.
Actually, I've tried it on my cylinder arm.
Yeah.
And
Not
it's
so much.
it's too hard to steer and hold
Oh,
everything
okay.
supported to get that.
All right.
So I just do it on a flatbed.
There you go.
But I have a term for that stitch, and I won't say it on air. I'll say it later. What I call that?
Does it have
That's
an
my-
M in it?
No. No. Starts with a G.
The great stitch.
Yeah.
The greatest stitch of them all. All right.
Okay, we'll do
You
this
ready
one
for
real
that?
quick. Yep, we'll do that, and then we'll attach this other piece. And you can't let me forget to do my other piece of belt, because I will. Nope, it's already there. Can't forget. Never mind.
Can't forget it.
You're
We
off the
already did it.
You're off the hook. Well, it's not
I
set
took care.
yet.
Oh, I took care of that earlier.
Yeah, you did.
So I've been made one like lined vest,
Yeah.
and I'm just in the time I've been standing here, I realize how wrong I did it.
I've never lined a vest.
What's that?
I've never lined a vest. What would you do with the sleeve?
I don't remember what I did with the sleeve.
sleeve opening. The armhole, we'll call it.
I'll have
The
to
armhole,
look.
some might call.
I'll have to look.
Interested in doing is making a vest.
That's everybody's kind of. Like, do you guys have a pattern for a line vest? Yeah. Have you ever made it? Oh.
Find it.
Really gonna
Way.
angle people, so just bear with us.
Yeah, we're.
For this?
Yeah, you're.
Just let them know, like, there's not really gonna be a good angle.
No, you can't see it because that shoulder's in the way. But we're just laying down a top stitch on the front side.
Yeah, there's nothing really to see other than me trying to get this thing loaded in there.
Finger fight.
Flat.
Early 2020. Where is that?
There's a little burger joint. Which way do you go? Are you going back to Colorado? Are you going to go on 70 across out of Kansas City?
We will, because we're going to go up to Nashville and see Tom Eberle from
Okay.
Herman Oak. Then we'll
Yeah.
go to Herman Oak, and then we'll hit 70, just deadhead all the way home.
There's a little burger shop if you hit there at lunchtime. What is it called? Maybe in Salina, Kansas? I was just...
That's where the Feg Show is going to be this year.
The what show?
The International Federation of
Oh.
Leather Guild show.
Ifogel?
I followed.
A flog. Alright, find Kansas City. Well, gotta find it a different way.
Sturgis. Ooh, there it was.
Oh, I was right. It's called Cozy Inn Burgers.
Cozy Inn, huh?
Yeah, it's just in the middle of it. So you can order that little...
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a...
Very cool. That's in Salina.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I got to spend a week there. I'm sure I'll find it.
Yeah, it's a good little spot.
So that's the best I did. He wanted a fully tooled cut for his motorcycle gang there. Club. He wanted me to tool all this, and he was going to stitch embroidered like rockers patches on it.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're the president of the Banditos, man. I'm not letting you put patches on top of my carving. You're paying a lot for
Right.
that shit. So I talked him into milled veg down there.
Yeah.
And then that was the liner. So I think I just skived and folded my leather over. And
Oh, it looks
stitched
like
the
it, yeah.
seam in, yeah.
Yeah, see, you have a side view of it?
I just
Oh,
got
yeah,
these
you
three
did.
pictures. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just rolled under.
Then a zipper flap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it took me probably 3 weeks just to draw the damn pattern.
Let's see. You got a 4 real quick, Justin?
Yeah.
There was a little bit of card. That's all one piece of leather.
Mm.
I'll never do it again.
One's enough.
Is this your best?
Yeah, I've got it so you can take a look at it.
Oh, yeah, check it.
Take a look at my wrongness.
I doubt it's very wrong.
I tried to convince, dude, I'm a holster maker. I'm not a tailor. Oh, I want a holster
wow.
too.
Oh my goodness. That's actually awesome. Wow.
Of course, bad guy, everything.
Oh man. That's actually really impressive.
So I just skived and folded the leather over the top is what I did.
And what'd you use for the lining?
It's just red. I don't remember what the cloth. Just random red cloth.
Man, that looks great.
He liked it.
Yeah, that looks
Then
really
he called
good.
me 3 months later and he says, "Man, I went down. Can you do anything? It's messed up on the shoulder." I'm like, "Man, it's a badge of honor. I can't retool it. It's
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
way it is now. I warned you."
Can I see the back again?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Wow. Good job.
Thanks.
Rattlesnake says Salina's about 2.5 hours east of me.
Well, there's a leather show there. Second weekend in October
Salina?
in Salina, Kansas.
It's a cool little town.
Is it? We drive through it. We never stop because it's
Yeah.
not in the gas.
We just, yeah, and it wasn't really, it ended up in the eating area, so we had my 2 girls and then my wife's brother,
Yeah.
kid. So usually would have just gone on. It's like, oh, let's find a burger spot. And so,
Right.
or let's find somewhere to eat. So I was like looking up and I was like, oh, that looks okay. And then this one just happened to pop
The
up
little
and I
holes
was
in
like,
the wall are usually the
I was
best
like,
place to go.
that's where I'm going. We're not going to McDonald's. We're not going.
That's it. There's a place I go down to visit Bobby Beard there in Farmington, and there's got a little place like that. It's just a little cinder block shack There's usually a line around it.
Yeah.
And it's good chow.
Farmington here in Missouri?
No, New Mexico.
Oh, okay. Tony, don't forget it's Tuesday. Oh,
What's Tuesday?
what kind of taco shops?
Taco Tuesday?
How do you guys feel about tacos?
Oh, we're fine with pretty much anything.
So
There's-
a top stitch.
Caesar's Old Mexico. That's a good spot.
Yeah.
My wife would be mad at me if we went there,
She didn't get to go.
Really good too.
but
Are you guys ready for lunch? Do you want to take a lunch break?
oh no,
No,
I'm sorry.
we're-
I'm gluing.
We ate breakfast right before we got here, so.
Let's say you can walk off anytime and I'll stop.
No, I'm not leaving you. This is my
Not
jacket.
leaving my wingman.
Never leave your wingman. We took him down too. No, you went below the hard deck.
Hard deck my ass. Yeah, that son of a beep. When we're gluing, it always feels like we're doing a kindergarten class or something.
Maybe I spent 3 years in kindergarten, so that could be why I'm so good at
Wait a
gluing.
minute, teaching kindergarten, or you actually spent 3 years trying to pass kindergarten?
Just trying to get out of it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
just 3?
Yep.
Nice work.
Yeah. I heard other people that took longer.
Oh yeah. Never got past kindergarten.
Oh, we need to glue this down, right?
You just put a little dab on there, and then I'll get it set straight. Or what I call straight.
Apparently not qualified to actually tack it down.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, he's not. He's not there yet. Of course, it's his jacket. He can do whatever he wants.
I'm only an expert in gluing.
So just, if you want to do it, just eyeball
Nope,
how that one's
I don't
going.
want to.
Going down
You got
just
it. Get it
ever so
straight.
slightly.
Oh, see, it's all a little wild.
Just like that.
Oh, so you already put glue in there. Now you had to get glue on your finger.
That's okay.
My apologies.
We're gonna go right over
It's not the
top
kind
of
of glue that kills you. You'll be alright.
Yeah. If you ate enough of it, probably would.
No, I'm pretty sure.
You checked with Reiner?
So I did a whole video on how glue works on YouTube.
Yeah.
And mostly it's, contact cement based as opposed to this. And we talk about this a little bit, and I say something about it. You could probably eat it, and I said, don't tell the Navy they'll eat anything. And
Yeah.
they always make fun of us being crayon eaters, so
Yeah.
it's turnabout's fair play.
We do. There are all those kindergartners that do eat that Elmer's glue.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah.
You were Elmer's glue.
I think I was still at second grade level eating Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
And the little glue sticks. Do you remember the little paste
Oh, the
sticks?
yeah,
Those
yeah.
were good.
You were always like, what? What do you want for your lunch? Can you give me another bottle of glue?
Yeah, it's gotta be the old formula though.
And now they make slime out of it.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah, slime out of glue and shaving cream and contact cement.
Ooh, now
Well, not
that,
contact. I contact solution.
now Tokenal, I would still eat that. It smells so nice.
It's PVA glue and water. There's
That-
something else in it, but not much.
So
We were-
non-toxic. Is that what you're saying?
We were looking at it. Well, we were looking at it. I was like, I was using it, smelling it. And I was like, man, this just feels like Elmer's glue.
It is.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's something else in it. It's not just Elmer's glue and water, but
Yeah.
not much.
Whatever they put in there to make it smell like it does,
That's
that's
the PVA glue. That's the Elmer's
what I love.
type glue.
Kind of notched this pattern a different way, so having to think about how to put that together there.
So what was your notch? What's the notch for?
I don't know, it's just the way my pattern was shaped a little bit different right here, and I just changed it to try to make it easier, but it ended up not being easier, so I'll probably change it back. And I don't know what it's for. Don't ask me questions.
Oh, it
like
was just
that.
it was on the jacket that you took apart.
Yeah, but it was always kind of a pain to set there, and now it's even worse. So I'll just probably change it back. It's not a big deal there anyway. That all gets folded and top stitched and buried. So one down there, a couple in the middle. All right. right, we'll sew this one up and then do the last top stitch, and then we're ready to make a collar.
Make a collar.
Then we can do that later. We can do that after lunch, whatever you want to do. But we'll do this and be done. Then you can actually put it on and see what it feels like.
Okay.
If you want to.
It'll
Yeah.
probably be a little tighter in the belly than it was.
Maybe. But not as tight as it will be when you get it set.
Yeah, somebody's saying they figure the notches to reduce a little bit of the bulk in there. I would assume so.
So that was Denny. So I was walking around the debut, and I saw that, and I'm like, somebody had to have done that of Denny. There's no way that's not Denny.
Yeah, I just saw it yesterday when I came in. I was like, wait a second, where did this come from? Because I was gone last week. And I was like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Like, somebody was going to make it for that, but to...
Right?
It's Denny and I talk about it every now and then about like where we came from, videos, shooting them on the retail floor to making a recorded video, and still with audio and doing a more instructional type of video that he was not really. He's like, I don't want to do that. And then after COVID came back, and we're like, let's do live videos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Tony, you are crazy. And I said, yeah, I know, but let's do live videos. He's like, how are we going to do that? And I said, I don't know. We'll figure it out. So I, audio visual tech at church and the church we were at before, and help them get into live streaming the service. So I had a basic idea of what we wanted to do, and we first tried to do I had a box that would bring the audio and one camera feed in, and I was like, we'll just try to make it work with that. Mm-hmm. That lasted for about 1-2 videos, and I was like, we got to switch.
We got to have more cameras.
I got to have more cameras. So now we have 4 cameras that go in, and a whole separate thing for the audio to come in. And
Yep. So
and
I did my one video. Actually, I've done 2 videos. The last one I did, I had 3 cameras. Mm-hmm. One up here, one over there, and one over there, and a separate audio track. And I had to go out. I'm not a video guy, man. I had to go out on YouTube and find someone to explain to me how I edited all that garbage together to make one video. So it took me 40 hours to make a 15-minute video. And that's why I haven't made any more.
so I'm like,
that kind of time.
I can show you some other tips and tricks. There's people that will do it for you, and there's quick, like we used to do on the recorder, and I can still do it with a 4-camera setup.
Yeah.
And then so you put them together with your audio track. You know when they have the little thing and they clap it together?
Yep.
So
I do it with my hands just so I can sync everything up.
So I would do it with Rusty, and I was like, okay, you got to clap. He's like, really? I have to clap? And I was like, yes, you need to clap. I need that spot on both.
We need that spike in the audio.
And so now the algorithms can do it. They can see that spike in it on the 2 tracks, the camera audio track and then your separate audio track, and it'll do it for you, line it up.
Oh my God.
And then you can do it where you sync all of your sequences together, and then so you just watch it, and you know what cameras 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you can just push 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and it'll switch as you just watch it through, and so you can switch your camera angles there, and so it edits all that part, and there's some other adjustments that you can take care of in there. But that was what it was. We would shoot.
That's a whole school I got to go to.
We would shoot an hour-long video, and then it would be 5 hours of me editing the video. And I was like, I don't have time for this and to do everything else that you want me to do.
Yeah.
But what do you suggest? A live video. And here we are.
Here we are.
He's like, oh, no. Then he's like, what are you trying to do?
Was he nervous he was going to mess up?
No, he just didn't. Aren't I gluing?
You're gluing.
I've glued all this part now, and now evidently I didn't do a well enough job on the last part.
I'm sorry to overstep my bounds.
You get in your lane.
I thought you were talking.
I am, but I'm...
You see, the first time I offered to let you glue, when I handed you a paintbrush yesterday, you kind of scolded me because you were fine talking and playing with your hands and playing with your phone, and now you just can't get enough.
Can't get enough.
The tables have turned.
I mean, here's the thing. If I can be dramatic about something, I'm going to take that road.
Okay.
Every time. It doesn't matter what it's about, I'm going to take it. And I'm going to ride it to the very end. But I was going
You're just there for the drama. You're not really holding fast to any principles. You just nailing Jello to the wall. Whatever you feel like.
As long as it splatters, I'm there. Yeah. Get it on video, shoot with 2 cameras, slow-mo. I'm all about it. If some gets on somebody else, that's even better.
Gallagher.
Oh, he was so good. Smashing that watermelon on the end of the stage.
That's what he had to do.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Let me critique this. Oh yeah, that looks good.
Videos. So we started doing the live videos, and Denny's like, how's this going to go? He was super nervous to just like do it. Like he was just nervous to do it.
I understand.
And then so Liz, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say when you first told me it was gonna be live, I was a little like, oh no, I'm gonna mess up.
It's not so bad though, is it?
For everybody.
You've done awesome. I don't think we've caught
just
like
say it.
7 missed stitches. You
Yeah,
caught
we
them
caught
before
them.
we did it.
Yeah. But
You've been doing awesome.
I'm not having that problem anymore with the
With your better foot
and
with
the 20 gauge needle, the size 20 needle. I think that was deflecting a little bit, and maybe causing that to skip.
Yeah.
But I think we're good now.
So we did that, and then so Liz started doing the live videos with Denny, and she was like, I'm so nervous to do it. Where do I look? What's going on? I was like, nobody cares where you're looking.
Yeah.
Like, as long as we can keep somebody on the camera, we're talking about that. So then we start doing that, and now we'll go back and we'll try to do a recorded video for like an ad or something like that. And Liz is more nervous to do a recorded video. I was like, we just say it over. We just do it over. Sometimes we'll do like a 30-second, and it takes us, what, Justin, 5, 10, 15 minutes to do a 30-second?
Yep.
But the outtakes of it is like, you got to use that because that's who SLC has become. Like,
Right.
Just
Series of outtakes.
the goofiness and just thing like that. And it's awesome to see that can inspire somebody
Right.
to make that out of what we've kind of helped build of this leather community. Because I don't know anybody else that really does, as far as a company that does live leather crafting. You know,
Does Chuck do live, or is it all pre-recorded?
when Chuck does the live that Chuck does is just a question and answer, and he just sits in front of his computer and he just reads, just chats along with it. So I mean, that's still cool too.
Yeah.
But like, as the crafting part of it, because it's not easy.
No.
Like Tandy's done a few every now and then, but it's not easy to do. Like, who's gonna say, oh, you know what we should do? We should try to build a leather jacket live. So then Mark was enough of a sucker to come in here more than once, and I found him.
You did.
Or to do a whole saddle.
Right. That's
Like,
incredible.
Donna's like,
That's pretty incredible.
Donna's like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I make saddles just fine, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I guess I'm ready to
Top stitch.
Yep. You guys can carry on with your interesting conversation while I'm doing something boring, and just make the time pass.
We're the entertainment today.
Yeah.
You're the knowledge. We're the entertainment.
Well, I don't know about your knowledge.
Yes, or something. But they were talking about live. I said, I wonder about the notch ears. It's great that streaming is hard. Definitely prefer doing live over trying to figure out editing. That's why movies are so expensive. 80% is editing.
That's right.
Feels personal with the interaction, just talking to yourself while you're doing it. One is like, you can have a question. Somebody in the chat can have a question. It's not about a leather jacket. Or we've had it before. It's like, hey, do you have this? Or I can run out and go see, do we have this in stock? Or could you use this instead? We were doing, what's that, brogue style punches. It may have been around the time when Liz did it on her envelope clutch.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, the screw punch is great to do it. We never thought of anybody being in an apartment.
All right.
Punching holes and hammering, and they're like, oh my God, I need to get a screw punch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make my neighbors mad anymore. And it's quick.
Yeah.
So people are like, what? And we just found like a different use, or maybe what the use of that tool was, so you can do it somewhere quiet from that. And I was like, oh, here's a whole other marketing scheme to do behind it. So now we need to go to somebody's apartment and hammer it out, and somebody next door pounding back on the wall and go, hey. Hand them a screw punch. Don't anybody take that ad idea. It just popped in my head right there. Justin, write it down. Put a trademark on it. More personal. Also, Tony is a master of filling dead air, talking about whatever. So something is always happening. Fair. If SLC isn't being a goofy goober, then it's just not right. Michael says, after that brogue class, I got a set and made a brogue hat. And Liz just saw it from somebody else putting it into not a shoe. Like putting it into another leather technique. And it's like running the technique into something else. And it's like, This is what it was for. It's just like design. Yeah, it ended up on shoes and it's on that, but use it here, use it there, and find an easier way to do it. And now you know how you're going to do your next vest.
No, I'm not, my next vest is just not going to get done. That's how that's going to get done. I have been very diligent about not taking orders for things that aren't holsters and sheaths.
Yeah.
Because I get wrapped up in the challenge of it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll try and talk them out of it. I'll try and outprice them.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, I don't care what it costs. I want it. Well, shit. So I got to make it. I've done some crazy rope bags. I mean, it was a 15-pound rope bag because it took 2 sides of leather to make this thing. Everything has to be lined in my world, right? So it's just heavy, too heavy.
Yeah. That's a video that we're going to end up doing is doing a rope bag video.
Yeah.
Denny had done one. He has one over there. We're going to do another one.
Cool.
But then we had a saddle that Denny had done for recorded making a leather saddle, and it had like the steps in it, and it's just recorded when it doesn't, and it cuts spots. It's not
Right.
It's not the 30 hours that we did for
yeah,
this other one. So a guy from Kansas City ended up coming in. He was like, I want this, but I want full, long tapaderos on it. And so Denny's like, okay, I don't really want to do those. Here's the price that he thought was just astronomical, and the guy was like,
Okay.
deal. Can we also add this in with it? And he starts adding like a breast collar and other stuff in, and Denny's like,
Oh, jeez.
But later this summer, so this is one of our longer projects, but Denny's going to do the guitar case again, and we'll do a video of making it, probably back over in his area.
You find some time, a couple of days. I'd love to come in and do like a full double Muscadero rig or something. That'd be cool to do in here.
Yep. Well, what do you want to do after October, after you're in Salina?
Well, it'd be November because we get back from the L-Watch show, like right at Halloween.
Okay.
It would have to be November. As long as the weather's good, I don't mind driving out here.
I was trying to find something where you're already halfway over here for something.
Oh. Let me look, because this year we dropped an event this year. So that might be a decent time right before.
Okay. Because we can...
Because what it would end up being is it'd be... So the last... Like the last week of September, which is usually when I'm in Texas, that went away. So that wouldn't be horrible.
Okay.
Because then it's here, first week in October is the Boot and Saddle Show, in Wichita Falls, and then the Guild Show, then the L-Watch Show. So we could maybe sneak it in at the end of September.
So we'll just do it like Mark. Like Mark's like, it'll be about 5 days, and I was like, you want to do Monday through Friday?
Yeah.
So we just made it work for there.
I think unless, depending on whether we choose to tool it or not, or how much tooling we do, it would take 2 days to do the class.
So even if you did the other part, if you did the tooling outside of it and had like those pieces done, and then we just show like cutting it out, and then we TV show magic it.
Right.
Like here's a piece, let's tool it now. If you want to.
Do the old, what was it? I want to say Martha Stewart, but that's not right. Julia Childs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Make this huge mess, pull a nice one out of the oven.
Yeah. Here's the cake.
No, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
So we can do that. And so like when we did Denny's, he's only here Wednesday through Saturday. Right. So we did his videos on Wednesday and Fridays to make it work. Mark's like, I'm good Monday through Friday. I was like, let's go.
Planned ahead.
Give the customers enough notice where they can make some time, but it's recorded on YouTube so they can go back and watch us. It's archived forever. I feel like you're talking less this time, Mark, about things being boring while you're over there sewing.
Oh, I just told him it was boring.
Oh, you told Justin it was?
Yeah.
You're not entertained by our conversation?
I am, but what I was doing was boring, and having the camera pointed at me, I'm sure it was so exciting for everybody. Oh.
Tied off and burnt.
Tied off.
Now we're a tube.
Now we're a two.
Well, not really a tube yet.
can put it on if you want.
Looks freaking awesome. Find that hole.
There she is.
Catching over my watch.
Fits a little better than it did a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it's more put together.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to put the zipper on while I'm wearing it?
No.
Okay, me either.
I don't think I can fit you under that foot.
Somebody said that about me before, though.
Really?
I'm going to try to fit you under my foot.
Huh?
Yeah.
Depends on the foot.
All right.
So are we going to proceed, or are you going to take some time to eat?
We're just at 12. I'm not sure what Liz's plan is. What else? What else you got? What's the next step? A collar?
Make a collar.
How long we got there?
I don't know.
Let's start constructing. We'll see where we end up.
Okay. You squeeze by again, good sir.
Let's see what we don't. These pieces go over here.
Yeah, that's our facing, and we'll put a pocket in that facing at some point. So this, I'm just gonna. You can do one, and I can do one.
We're gluing again.
We're gluing. Exciting. Here, we'll get you some glue boogers. I know you like those.
Am I going all the way around this?
No, actually, that's the one piece you don't want to do.
Sweet.
But you're fine right there. That's fine. Not gonna hurt anybody.
No, it's not gonna hurt.
And I'm
anybody.
sorry I didn't specify.
Yeah, I didn't ask what kind
And
of
who
ducks.
wouldn't start at the flat side?
Yeah, my bad. For doing
Yeah, we're
the
just-
obvious part.
Yeah, we're just going to go around the top.
That's on me. If that can be screwed up, I can do it.
Oh, me too. Me too. We're gonna have to get Chris a spatula so he can feel all important. Putting glue on.
Is that what it is? Glue is in the important part.
It is.
It's what keeps things stuck.
Yeah.
At least until they're sewn. So what was your, now that the judging is over, Chris, what was your favorite thing that you saw out there this year? Or maybe a different category even.
Well, different category. I'm going to say that, and how it didn't win first, I don't know. Well, actually, I kind of do, but Daniel Reach's pirate ship. If you saw pictures of that or whatever.
I haven't looked through, they did the pictures
It's
last week.
Literally a fully leather creation. It's about yay big,
Yeah.
about 3 feet long, with all the masts and everything, probably another 3 feet tall.
Wow.
Working lights. I mean, it is a
That's
pirate
awesome.
ship. You would swear to God it was right out of a movie set.
Wow.
The thing that beat it was this huge platform, and it had 2 working Rubik's Cubes on it.
Okay.
Made completely out of leather somehow.
Oh my
That,
goodness.
that edged him out, I guess, but that pirate ship was pretty darn cool.
Hmm.
Where can I see pictures of this stuff?
I'll show it to you in a second.
Okay. Justin
Sorry,
with the save.
sprung it on Justin all at the last.
There was a ton of good work in there, though.
This is a completely different kind of leather work than what you're
Oh,
doing. I mean, just
absolutely.
super thin. It's almost
100%.
like fabric compared to
Yeah,
what you're doing. No
100%.
tooling. No.
We did talk about making a natural veg jacket,
Yeah,
but I'm not going to give that full information out here yet. When we're not on the air.
right.
I think that it would be awesome. Veg jackets are really, really cool. That one's veg tan. Of course, it's pigmented black, so it's not
Yeah.
gonna do the sun tanning. And
Is that like just a milled veg?
yeah, he knows more about it than I do.
I don't-
got this from your closeout. Is the Criminauer? I bought all of it that you had, which
Oh.
is enough to do about 3
Yeah.
or 4 jackets. Oh my goodness.
Everything but the string and the one little window is leather.
See, they couldn't do a clear piece of leather. Come on.
And the way that it looks, like it's not just like,
No, that looks amazing.
He did, it was at the Fed show a couple, 3 years ago. He did like a swamp house
The patina.
sort of deal.
That would be really cool.
All the little rooms, all the little things on the shelves. I mean, it was the detail that he puts into things are just amazing.
did you have it up there?
They saw a lot of that. They watched the Sheridan.
Oh, okay. Go back and watch the last Wednesday's video. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Talking about the Rocky Mountain Leather Show. He has a video about the ship, Meyer says.
Oh, okay. That doesn't surprise me.
Lazarus, I think it's called.
I can't even see that with my glasses on.
Barely.
That's how blind I am.
Barely can see that.
Rattlesnake says my dog does not like my stamping.
Oh, my baby doesn't like it.
When I was
There's a video.
when I was still in school, I played French horn was my instrument, and my dog did
Elegant.
not like
Didn't
me.
care for that?
Did not
Sing
like me
along to
practicing.
it?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm just gonna lay that
Blown
right
away
on
how
top.
fast you guys are putting stuff together.
That's what like. We did 4 hours yesterday,
Yeah.
and then you did a little bit. You did another 2 hours after.
Yeah, probably to
To
duplicate.
do the others. We just did one side and then we
Right.
did the other side. So, I mean, we're probably 8 hours into it. Maybe.
Yeah.
It usually takes me about 30 hours at home to do one,
Wow.
something like that.
It's my extra help of gluing.
It is.
And we haven't done any of the liner yet.
Yeah.
So there's that part. I guess you got to make it all again.
Yeah, it's so fast though.
The liner.
Making the liner, yeah.
Yeah.
But putting it in is not. That is difficult. That's where when the sleeves come into play, everything
And
is.
you've got to pull the entire jacket through a hole about that big.
I do it a little bit
You do it
different.
different?
Yeah. I leave my bottom seam all the way open, and I
Okay.
end up. I'll use a little basting tape to get that flat, and then I'll
Oh, okay.
fold the liner under too, and then close it up, so I don't have to try to pull leather. Pulling fabric through a little hole, no problem.
Not a big
Pulling
deal. All that leather.
your 3.5 ounce leather
Right.
jacket
Yeah.
through it, I'll just end up shredding the
I
liner.
happened to have the conversation with Julie Pierce, is the judge, one of the judges for the clothing category, typically master seamstress.
Yeah.
I've taken a couple of her classes that I didn't understand when I was there.
Yeah.
But I said something about it, showed her that vest and something about liners, and she went through the whole process. Usually you leave a little open seam in the sleeve and you pull everything
Yeah.
through that little hole, and I'm thinking to myself, uh-uh.
I think it'll work fine on fabric, but with the heavier leather, man, it's
Yeah.
crazy. So I'm just marking this. We're gonna put this together like everything else, except for my seam allowance. I'm gonna go from a quarter or less around here, and then I'm gonna widen it to about a half as we go down here. And the reason I do that is because this is getting folded inside out. And then we gotta push all this. You don't want a half inch
All that pucker.
pucker when you're trying to flatten it out and then top stitch the whole thing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go just thinner with the seam allowance. Plus that gives us more of an aggressive point when it's done too, because you're coming out. And I could have done that with the pattern, but I would just cut it anyway if I did half-inch seam allowance. So we'll just kind of make little guidelines and end up back down at a half-inch somewhere. Like so. That'll just get me trailed to my normal place.
I like the eyeballing it.
Oh yeah, that's all I do is eyeball it.
It's the best way.
That's what Denny said when we were taking measurements, whatever, for the saddle, and he was like, we're going to do about a Denny 3/8 right
That's how
here.
Rusty did his entire knife sheath. He just eyeballed it and drew the pattern. Like, he had kind of a rough idea already, but then he drew everything out on a vanilla envelope and went away. And people loved it. They're like, we love to see this side, and it's not like that perfect. You have all the machineries and
Right,
everything,
right.
laser machines and all that. So they
It needs to
really
be achievable at their house, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, I got pretty close with the eyeball. Okay. Now I'll just go run that through and then we can turn it inside out and
Very good.
beat on it and wrestle it and then hammer it some more.
We did a video. It was one of earlier recorded videos that we did, and it was making a holster for your gun. And we started from the very beginning of like tracing out your gun
That's
to
where
start.
my class starts.
And so
Yeah.
we did that on a video, and people would still ask, "What do you got a pattern for this gun?" I just showed you how to lay your gun down and draw it. What do you mean to? Yes, you have the pattern.
Exactly.
Lay your gun down and do what we did here.
What kills me is people ask me, do you have any left-handed patterns?
Yeah, flip your gun over.
Just turn the pattern over.
Just flip it over, or flip your holster. Flip your
Flip the
pieces.
pattern over, yeah. You
Oh,
know, if we come in and I do it, we'll do it from a manila fold forward.
Very good. We can.
I mean, we'll probably not use the manila folder to let you actually cut the leather out.
Yeah.
Promote
Wait.
the templates for that, right? But at the end of the day, you got to know how to do it. That's the key, and it's honestly not that hard.
No,
You
and
know?
that was the part for me because at that time I wasn't as far into leather crafting or understanding leather crafting. Like I make one thing really. I can make tote bags too, but I think we talked about the last time the lineup card holder that I make for umpiring. That's what I make. So my leather crafting experience is one thing. I do it and I can do it well.
Right.
So I can't say my vast knowledge of it, but watching and recording and shooting videos of it, I have the knowledge.
Right.
Like to be able to share with somebody. It's like I was so surprised of that part of it, of just laying it out and figuring it out. There was another video we did, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday. It wasn't Christmas gifts, but it was like just holiday gifts or gifts or something.
Sure.
Like something small you can make out of leather scraps. I got this thing. I don't even remember what I ended up making. It may have been a pin holder, but it had like a little cup thing on the bottom.
Okay.
But the center of it was just missing, so you could see like the rest of the pin. So it had like a top part and like a basketball goal type of thing. I can't remember. I have a picture of it somewhere. We gave it away. But I get done with it, and somebody was like, "Would you have a pattern for that?" I was like, I just made it all right here, and I went out there and I clicked out shapes, and I brought in and I told you what circles I had. I was like, no, I didn't have a pattern. Like the ingenuity part of it, or being able to put together like as a trim carpenter, like chair rail or
Any of that.
or
Crown molding.
like figuring out those angles and what you gotta do your little coping saw. Are you just yelling out numbers over there?
No, 31.6 on the miter, 33.9 on the bevel for crown molding. If you're gonna cut it flat.
Yeah, it's definitely more fun.
That's after, and then you got to cope it out.
You can, or you can just be really good at your cuts and understand how the compound miters work. But yeah, you cope it sometimes, especially if it's gonna be paint grade. But paint grade stuff, we just cut it flat and then
Let the painters cock it.
super close. You don't
Yeah.
need caulk if you're doing a good job.
Listen, what was the measurements again for crown molding?
31.6.
31.6.
On the miter and 33.9 on the bevel.
33.9 on the bevel.
Yep, and it depends on whether you're doing an inside corner or an outside corner, which way you're doing it. Either miter or bevel.
I'll stick with leather, thank you.
Yeah. But just like that, and that mindset of having that ingenuity to do those. I was like, why did I just get whacked on the head?
Oh, I'm showing her like
all the little.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then you have like how they go pop up.
She's becoming my tech.
So we have like these little overlays on our video that
Oh,
plays
cool.
a different video on it. So Abigail used to work here. She's banging on a mug that says, I don't want to play, I don't want to work, I just want to bang on my mug all day. So people can spend channel points if they watch you.
Okay.
And we always used to give Abigail crap about marijuana. So you have to spend 420 points to get Abigail to pop up on the screen. And whenever I did,
fun.
like one of the live shopping numbers I do is BR549
Okay.
from Hee Haw. And so my number is you have to spend 549 points. So we just leave off the BR. And little things like that. We need to make one of Liz doing something. So go ahead.
I'm just listening to you. So we're just going to turn these inside out now, which shouldn't be too terrible with your 2.5 ounce leather. It's really fun when you get to the heavier stuff. I usually use a bone folder for this, but I think this marker will be ample. Unless you got a bone folder laying around. We don't need to go get one though, I don't think.
I also got this too.
It's just like this.
Okay. I didn't want you to tear up your pen. I have a kazoo if that works for you.
I don't think the kazoo will quite do it.
Yeah, that's the good one. The rest of them I think will stab, so they're okay.
So Rattlesnake has a
I
question.
just always had their.
It's probably going to be for Chris because it's about shoulder holsters.
Yeah, it's for Chris.
Okay. I have a question. I made a couple shoulder holsters for pistol repeater syringes for giving shots at branding.
Oh, sure.
Only popped out when I had to grab the front foot when they missed the nerd forks. This is the wildest message at all.
I can't focus on it.
The nerd.
Just when some type of retention, basically a pocket, would a strap with magnets maybe work?
Syringe holster.
A syringe shoulder
I
holster.
get it. I understand what he's trying to do, I think.
Nord.
I think what you ought to make is a bandolier. Just have syringes going down your chest.
Yeah, that's right.
Syringe holster. Be a doctor or something? What are we doing?
A vet, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Or a farmer taking care of their cattle, their calves.
Oh. Yeah, weird. It's kind of hardcore.
I think syringes, I think bullet loops, to be honest.
We just use a cooler with holster slots made in it because their vaccines need to stay cool.
Mm.
Is that standing? Tessa?
Looks like a sloppy mess right now, but it's okay.
So we got to glue pieces to keep it down, or what?
Sometimes it helps. That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to see if it'll cooperate without doing it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe come over here.
You might have to see something to figure out what they're talking about.
Yeah, let's put a little bit of glue
I
down to
grew
the
up on a
middle.
horse, but I didn't do any of that stuff.
That's what I find funny sometimes when people don't understand what rodeos actually are.
That's the one good thing about the way we built our community too. Like, there's people out there that are a little bit of everything. So
Sure.
we have a Discord channel where they can go in there and just ask each other questions.
I think we talked about that
monitor
last
to make sure
time.
that they're acting appropriate, but other than that, we're like, you guys just do you in there and talk to each other. And
Don't
think-
call each other names. Be
I think we
nice.
talked to you about that the last time.
Which thing?
It's like our own little page forum
Yeah.
thing where people can just
And
talk.
Brandon Corral has a Discord page.
we'll sell leather on there every now and then.
Gonna let this glue help us keep in order here.
I did.
Try to get a crisp edge.
Sticking it to one side.
Yep, for now, and then I'll flip it and do the other way. That way it should look clean by the time we go to hammer it all flat.
My brain hurts.
And I'll flip on this side, just do it kind of down the middle. You don't have to do the...
So the collar is basically like a leather hot dog.
This collar does kind of look like a leather hot dog.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
They're alive.
Well, we had a reptile X one time this week.
You know what we need, Justin?
He's
We
ignoring
had
it.
like his gecko like walking across glass,
Yeah.
and then we could spin channel points, and then it can like walk across the screen.
There you go.
Video of him doing it once he gets a little bigger.
Yeah, you just set it up there and have him walk across the screen, and then we'll put it.
He's just a little baby right now. He likes to hang out on the door. If I have to miss this terrarium, I'm like, come on, dude, move, because I don't want you to jump out when I'm. Cause I had 2 dogs and a cat. I have to put them away when I open the door so that if he jumps out, they
Right.
Yeah, can't imagine the cat and the gecko getting along very well.
can. He was watching them play last night. He just had his little head poked up over the door, and they were playing right in front of his terrarium. I'm like, guys, please don't do it that close. Can't hold it yet, and that's what I'm waiting for.
Get Luna to lick a window, and we can do
He has
Luna
to be
licks.
exposed to them for about 2 or 3 weeks because they dropped their petals and they go back. So if he stood there and reached in and grabbed them, drop his head. I don't want to. It doesn't hurt him.
Yeah.
It's just, especially since he's
So we did this other one
wild and stuff with that swing.
where
They scurry off once they drop
we took like a hammer thing.
They're like, give it about
We shot it on one side of the table and the other, and I ducked on this other side. Hey, Justin, will you play the Wackatoni?
Yeah.
Watching this corner over here where he's working at.
Okay.
Oh, here, watch on this, right down here.
Right here.
Yeah. We missed it. We did it. There you go. So they can spin channel, and it goes boink or whatever, whenever you do that. So we did that on the side of the table, and we're just like shooting videos, like people walking by the windows, like,
What the hell are you doing?
Because we're hitting the hammer all the way up
Are they
here.
paying you for this?
Yeah, hitting me with a hammer all the way up here, and then going down there, and that took like 10 shots to
Yeah.
do.
How's it going, guys?
How
going.
well is Luna licking a window?
She mostly just is gonna bop it with her nose before she licks it.
What?
How good is she at licking a window? I'll put some peanut butter on it. She'll lick it clean.
Peanut butter on it.
That's what we're gonna
Or
try
some
to.
spray
We're gonna
cheese.
try to do that so we can have like Luna licks, and then she like licks the screen.
Oh,
You just have to put something clear that she wants to taste on there instead of peanut butter. Just put something
clear.
clear. That has
You got
some
any
flavor
clear
on
peanut
it.
butter?
Well, don't have to be clear.
What's
Could
a
be-
clear thing that a dog would want to eat?
Got it.
Sugar water.
Oh yeah,
Honey?
sugar. Yeah,
Yeah.
get a piece of acrylic.
Bacon grease is what rattlesnake said.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
might be a little
Bacon grease is
smeary,
good
but
for everything.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what's better than bacon though? More bacon.
Different kinds of bacon?
Yeah. That's a trick question.
Hi, Tessa.
Okay. Now we can. Hit
Bacon
this
grease
thing.
would be good. You just put it in one little spot, and then when she licks enough of it.
This is a pretty good vest.
It's almost a
Pretty solid.
proper vest.
I think we're gonna get this.
Look at these pockets.
You think what, Tony?
When we get this part done, we'll go find some lunch with this collar. You got after you do your top stitch.
Gotcha.
Have you been to the dugout recently? Terry was talking about the dugout, and I haven't. Gosh, I don't even know. Number one, if I have, but if I have, it's been at least a decade ago.
Yeah, that or Bruco.
Oh, the brew call. That could be fun.
Caesars, because it's Taco Tuesday. Plus, they got their own tequila there, and it's pretty good. I mean, sorry, that was not live.
You've tasted tequila?
No,
Wow.
only agave sauce.
Not today.
Not
today.
today. That way we could put tequila on a window for Luna to lick off.
There you go.
I don't think it's
She
gonna
doesn't
get
like.
her.
She doesn't like tequila.
No, I doubt she's gonna go.
What's
for
her
that.
spirit of choice? Peanut butter.
I haven't
Peanut
done
butter.
that test yet to see what spirit of choice my dog has.
All right. I'll
You
go
get
do
your
a
hammer
top
down?
stitch.
Top stitch on our hot dog collar. It does look like or maybe a canoe.
A canoe.
It's pretty canoe.
It's a pretty long canoe. You could fit the whole tribe in there,
The whole tribe.
going on an adventure.
So does it matter front and back on this, or you just figure out what side you like the best?
If there's one that has more or less character, you can pick. And this is a stand collar; it's going to be standing up. So if you have something uglier you want to hide, fix that
On the
inside your neck. Yeah. But if you have something really cool you want to show, just put it backwards. This one's that's the only little
Big
discrepancy is like a fingernail scratch, which I don't think matters at all. So
You can put that on the inside.
put
Does
that
this
on the
pull up? You
inside.
should be able to just heat it up and make that scratch go away.
It probably will. Yeah.
Yeah, just waxy.
Zoom, zoom.
Go around this. This is not the quickest stitch ever.
Tessa, what are you doing drinking all your rum yesterday? Did you have a party without us?
Things are getting crazy in Idaho. Potatoes are starting to come up. We had to celebrate. That's crazy how fast it's gotten to this point.
It is. I mean, where's the other?
Well, Mark
20
is a
hours?
pro.
Uh,
How long did it take you to cut all this out, Mark?
2 hours.
2 hours.
I did that off camera though, because that's really boring.
Yeah.
And you said yesterday, like, you used the gainers to cut it out since it was a thinner
I
leather.
actually I've just been using regular fiskers lately. But the gingers hurt my hands on leather. The all metal handle.
I got a pair of scissors over there.
Got some
Yeah,
Guggenheims.
Kendall came in here and asked if they had a pair of scissors to cut a piece of thread off her shirt and pull out his massive scissors.
There's a customer that said Tony and I both like coat shear
Where are they?
scissors.
They're
Like they're
big ones.
Right there.
They're good ones. I got mine at home. I'm like, I don't really know when I'm ever going to use these, but I got them,
I got a
and they're
pair.
cool.
You got a pair out of Navy rigging kit
Oh my
and
goodness.
sailing shears.
Wow.
And they're about yay long.
I'm not over.
Those are little ones. Those are nice though.
Yeah, they are. And they're really not that
Those are
bad. We
pretty.
looked them up, and I think they were like around like $50 a pair,
Uh-huh.
which
That's
I was
not
like,
bad.
no.
That's not bad.
Have you got a chance to look
Very
at
cool.
Grace Horn's scissors at the show in Atlanta? So there's this lady, she's from England, and she makes scissors.
Oh my.
She started out as a knife maker, and she made little folding knives. And at one point, she like wanted to put a little pair of scissors in her folding knives, you know, like a Swiss
Yeah.
knife. And so she's in the Sheffield area, which is where all the scissors are from. And so she went down there and found some old dude that made scissors, and he taught her the whole thing. And now she's a scissor maker.
Oh
and
my.
they are beautiful and dainty. And then she makes like these adorable little like custom boxes that they go in with like perfect inserts and like leather wrapped.
Wow.
She's an artist and all. She makes
Yeah.
lingerie. She makes shoes. Like she
Does
makes
she make
corsets.
the finger holes big enough for my fat fingers?
She might, depends on the ones.
That's-
She had some huge ones a few years ago. Sometimes she'll like,
Yeah.
you know, just whatever hits her fancy that year.
Dovo makes a pair of scissors, little thread scissors, or fly tying scissors, whatever you want to call them. But the blades come up, as opposed to coming in like this, they come up to a point, and you can really kind of get down in your hole to trim your
Oh,
threads.
yeah.
And their finger holes are big enough. And then I've got some cheapy ones from Hobby Lobby. I can't get my fingers in
Yeah.
them. They just make me mad. And they quit making those.
They're made for like a
They quit
10-year-old.
making the scissors I like, so I'm kind of
You need
hosed.
some bespoke scissors.
I do. That's what
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
need
find
some
this
Grace
lady in
Horn
Atlanta.
scissors. She's on, I think like 4A. Nick was looking her up. She always sells out really fast. You gotta
Oh,
go.
yeah.
She'll bring like 3 or 4 pieces and
Yeah.
yeah. She always, and then she'll like make a booklet with like all of like the drawing and designs that she did to like build her scissors. So like, I don't know, like she just is the whole package and I love
guess.
it. It's adorable. It's really cool. She's like an artist, so she'll draw out everything and she makes it all artsy fartsy. I don't know. She's fun. She's interesting. She did, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago down in Atlanta, she did a scissor class. So you could take, it was like $20 to sit there and like you learned all about the specifics of the bow
Oh,
and
sure.
like the heat treating parts and how you have to like, because during heat treat they can warp,
Right.
but you have to have them very specific so that, you know, depending on the type of scissor, the cut, because scissors only cut wherever they're touching.
Right.
And so it's like very specific geometry. It was a really fascinating course. I enjoyed it immensely.
Now we know why your scissors don't work anymore. Because we
Those
don't
are
know
off.
all that stuff.
The geometry's off.
Well, you can sharpen them on a sharpener designed for scissors.
I know. I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying there's more to it than that's in that toy that we got.
If we were celebrating potatoes, it would have been vodka.
Fair. That is fair.
What are you celebrating when the rum comes out, Tessa? What brings out the rum?
I know what the rum brings out though. The crazy. The crazy.
Exciting, right?
Very exciting.
Good friends. That's what brought the rum out.
Pirate Day.
But why is the rum gone? That was when we were down in Disney, like Jack Sparrow was my favorite character down there. Because he was just stumbling around drunk. And he,
What
because
if it was an actor if he actually gets to do that? So it's authentic.
who knows?
I would fight for authenticity.
I am too. I was like, I can't act. I just
She's a method.
people will tell. People will tell. They're gonna know. They're gonna know.
But he kept harassing Chris about his muscles, which was just amazing.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal as we were walking around. Loved it. So Mark, is your tying knots, is that something specific to jacket making?
No, it's just me getting
It's-
OCD and not trusting backtacking.
Gotcha. You know, just thought I'd check. Hey man,
OCD?
you don't want your hours and hours to fall apart.
No. And I don't think
And
that
it-
it will, but
As craftsmen, if you don't have some OCD, you're not a craftsman.
that's I can get on board with that.
And also have a reason that you're doing it, not just because
Yeah.
you saw somebody else do
Right.
it. At least you have a reason that you did it.
Yeah. So there's our
OCD is
little
one thing.
collar.
What you don't want to get is CDO.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
OCD in alphabetical order.
Oh.
That's when you have it real bad.
Yeah.
Rattlesnake has
That
tried
is
to act
bad.
sober a time or two.
Okay, so we can be done for now, or we can put our line snaps in. We can do that anytime though. That's pretty easy.
You just put them in the tips.
Yep, just one here, just one here.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Just the
The tip.
Just the tip. That's it.
It's about time we got there. Just the tip.
Yeah. Sometimes the tip will get you there.
Yep.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes the tip's all you got.
You're making Mom mad over there.
This is the leather conversation, Terry.
This is a G-rated feed.
Oh
You
no,
don't
this
know
is
that.
not for kids only. That is true. We did not click for kids only. Cool.
Cool.
So we gotta stop and do the line snaps later?
Whenever we do this part, is this when we do the zipper part with that?
Yeah, we're gonna put the collar on, and then we're gonna put the facing at the same time as the main zip.
And then when does this go on? Before lining?
That goes on right after the collar.
Okay. So if we stop here,
We can come back and put the collar in, put the facing in, and we gotta put a pocket bag into this facing panel, so yeah, that'll take some time.
we're gonna come back at 3 o'clock.
At 3?
Well, it's 12:44 right now.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. We can be done for the day, and then we just start up again tomorrow.
If you want. That's fine. That might be good, because
Okay.
tomorrow we might not have a whole lot to fill our time out, because I'll probably build a lining tomorrow afternoon and bring that back Thursday, and then finish the jacket Thursday, most likely.
Does that work for you?
Yeah,
That works for me.
Yeah, we can be done if you want to do that.
That's the show. See you guys.
That was a lot of thinking out loud.
No, hold on, don't stop it yet. So what we did today was we got our back piece, and we put our gussets on with our adjusting buckles. Yes. And that's attached to what we have called the skirt.
You've called it the skirt.
Okay,
we're gonna go with it.
we call it.
What do you call it, Mark?
It doesn't
I
have a
didn't
name.
call it anything.
Okay.
That little piece of leather on the bottom.
Yeah.
A little piece of leather on the bottom. Then we took and we put our gussets to the front side.
Or some might call them a side panel.
Side panels to our what? What's our
To our front
front-
bodice pieces.
front bodice pieces. And then we attached at the neck.
At the shoulders.
At the shoulders.
Yeah, we did just a regular flat seam and then did a top stitch seam.
Then
We slapped a collar together.
slapped a collar together. So if we were to lay
Yes, there we go.
There you go.
Nice.
So it will look something like that.
And that's where we're at. We got sleeves and a vest.
We'll put the sleeves on tomorrow if you guys will be so kind as to wheel in a 26.
we can do it, we'll need the 20 and the 26?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the 26, I'll be 30 minutes and I'll be done with it. Then
Okay.
you can wheel it back out.
Okay.
That's it.
That looks cool.
Yeah, it'll look
I-
good.
I don't know if anybody else is impressed, but I'm impressed with
I'm
you.
way impressed.
If
That's
you lay it
pretty
like
much
this, you'll know that nothing is square at the bottom,
Correct.
because I incorporate a pretty significant front drop in all my jackets.
I was
think it
wondering
looks-
about your
I think it looks really
difference
cool.
there.
And this has grown on me over the last couple of years. I used to just like a longer jacket in the back, but it looks so much cleaner when you're short in the back and then you drop to the front.
That's true.
It just looks really, really nice, and it gives you
Little bit
that
of a
side
tuxedo.
profile. It gives you that kind of vintage drop. I really like it.
Just the kin cut? It's
It's-
the kin cut.
leading to the goods.
So that's why everything's a little shorter there.
Yeah. You're a year and a half into your leather adventure.
I started jackets in November.
So we
So
haven't
6 months into jackets, guys.
6 months.
We can all cry about how amazing Mark is and that we suck.
It's
So
not that amazing. I'm sure you'll get to see me mess something up.
So we'll come back tomorrow. We'll put a collar on. We'll put sleeves on.
Yep. The collar is very simple to attach. You just got to make sure it's straight. The
And then-
facing and the zippers is a little tricky, but it's really still
So we'll do all
pretty
that. We'll do
straightforward.
sleeves, collar, and zipper facing.
Yep, we'll do the facing with the zippers and the collar, and then we'll attach the sleeves. And we might even top stitch the sleeves.
Okay.
And that's
Then,
a really boring.
Then on Thursday we'll be done after we put the lining in.
Most likely, yeah, if everything goes smoothly.
There it is. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye, guys.